I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk.
Not me.
I'm
Wrong again.
We are
Soca analyst.
And you know what it is, it's Richie, Mr. Ratatatata Brave.
That's right. That was the only Pokemon feature on a Soca song. It's your boy Kendricks, the Peakleys Bay. And today we have a very special guest, a Soca philanthropist. He gives back to the community. Warren Buffett ain't got shit on him. All right, let me tell you something. You might have seen him on Julian's promo. The Soca song came out 1 minute ago. Guess who's the first comment? The first comment is DJ JEL.
It's Jelani, just in case I never know.
Why?
All right, boy.
So,
Play the thing, boy.
all right, so cheers, y'all.
Yeah.
We drinking white oak. We drinking white oak.
Oh, let me top off early because this is gonna be a special.
Jill, you want anything else to drink? You want more ting?
Yeah, some more white.
Can I have some kombucha? Oh, what's that? You want some kombucha?
So you hear that, Angostura? DJ JEL is a fan of white oak, all right? So remember that when you're looking for someone to sponsor.
Yeah, that's right, yo. Angostura, you've been slacking. Bacardi is applying pressure with all these Caribbean artists. Why don't you leapfrog, you hit the little Euro step and sponsor us. Sponsor DJ JEL. Buy him some new equipment. Equipment's expensive. Pay for his flight. It's just a tax write-off for you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
Especially considering that there's a lot of foreign brands up here that are trying to take Angostura's market share. I'm even seeing new bitters that are on the shelves now.
Wait, there's new bitters?
That's not Angostura's.
What is it? Is it like Whole Foods?
It's some
Whole Foods bitters?
some interesting
Artisanal
shit.
bitters? Is
Some-
that what we're dealing with?
Yep.
They put a handlebar mustache on it.
And I see some fake shandies too. Carib,
Whoa.
y'all need to step up.
Is it called Caribbeans?
Nah, it's some German brand. But
All
I
right.
see, man. Well, so got a lot of shit going on right now.
Man, you got a very, very
But
special guest.
like we always say, not all superheroes wear capes, which is why
play Soca. And
Exactly.
We're gonna talk to this one right now.
Which is why we're so excited to have Mr. DJ JEL on the Soca Analyst with us. So, JEL, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background? Where you started and
What
stuff
made
like that?
What made you get into Soca? Why not EDM?
Yeah.
Tiesto's making all the money. Tiesto's getting paid. He gets $300K a set.
oh, of course. I mean, I'm Trinidadian by culture. So growing up in New York, New York is one of the largest Caribbean communities in the U.S.
Yeah.
and home to the largest Caribbean exports, right? Expats.
Yeah.
Meaning a lot of people decided to reside here, whether in Richmond Hill, South Ozone, or East Flatbush, right?
Yeah, expats. I'm gonna just jump in there. How come when white people go to a country, they're expats, but when we come here, we're immigrants?
Oh, bum, bum, bum.
Keep your third eye open.
Pulling shit out from under the rug.
Yeah, let them know, Joe.
Well, there's just a use of terminology.
But that was good. I like that he used expats. That's
Yeah,
the
me
first
too.
time
Yeah.
I've heard people refer to us.
Us, Caribbean people
Yeah,
living
like
in
the
New York
high-level
as
expat.
expats, not as immigrants, which is
Well,
cool.
we brought new culture here. We brought, we
Soca.
filled some jobs. We
Soca.
brought culture.
Yeah.
That's it.
Seasoning.
Right. So growing up, right, my mom and my grandmother, they always used to play soca and calypso every Saturday, Sunday, whenever they're cleaning.
And then we
whenever
had to
they're
clean
cooking.
the house.
I'm
cooking.
hearing Sparrow, Shadow,
Yeah.
Kitchener. I'm like, this music is good. And it was nice to dance to. Yeah. So after a while, you grow up, you listen to it every week, every day sometimes. It kind of just soaks in.
Then let me ask you something. Did your family had the real big speaker too in the house, and then you have like all the little stereo things like, oh, you can't touch that. Don't turn the volume and thing like that.
and then when you put it on, the windows in the house start shaking from the soca.
Definitely, man. Soca was definitely a thing that was played throughout.
Yeah.
And then don't even talk to me about Christmas time. When Parang
Parang.
came on. Oh my gosh.
And then,
It's the maracas,
what's that joint?
is-
Black cake and sorrow.
Black Cake
Black
and
Cake
Sorrow.
Sorrow.
Yeah.
Even we parangin. Oh man, Soca Santa.
Even the
Oh,
problematic songs like Chinese Parang.
Chinese parang,
Very problematic.
but still played in the
Yeah,
Soca
actually,
household.
I played that for my coworker in China. She was like, "Oh, she wanted to know what like foreigner people think Chinese people
Yeah,
sound like."
yeah.
It's like, "Yo, listen to this song." It's like, "Dong, ching, dong, dong." She's like, "Yo, this is not what we
How
sound."
did
That's
it go
how
over?
they sound.
Oh, she knows
That's
it's funny.
how they sound.
Like,
Oh
she's
man.
like, she's like, "This is not what we sound like." But yeah, man. So when did you take that listening experience and turn to like, I want to play it?
So it happened at a lot of family functions.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to a lot of backyard parties, and let me tell you, if you haven't been to a soca backyard party, you're missing out on
Oh,
life.
I've been to it.
because
I had the
Yeah.
privilege
That is where
of
the
going
most
to
vibes is.
a Soca backyard wedding.
Ooh.
Yeah, which literally to this day was one of probably the best fetes I've been to. That was really where I learned, all right, like this is how Trinidadians is party.
Exactly.
For
you
real,
get that
for
nice
real.
rhythm section, your bottle and spoon,
Yeah.
some
Everything,
tassa.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. And when I see people drinking rum, I mean, real rum drinking was going on. We had a whole basket full of empty rum bottles, man. You know, incredible. I love Trinidadian fetes. So it started in the party. And what was the vibe like for you when you first started as like a DJ? You know what I mean? In the family atmosphere, did you when you first started doing, did you see yourself as like, this is something I do for fun, or did you see yourself like in the long run where I'm like, I want to do this?
I saw it definitely in the long run. Like I used to watch a lot of the DJs at these family functions and how they used to
Yeah.
mix at the time. This is when they had CDs. So
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, so he presses this button. Oh, so he has 2 copies of this CD. So he puts it in here. He does this.
Oh, so you
he
were
tries
ready
to find
with
it.
it. How old are you at this time?
At that time, it's probably like 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
Yo, you
Like,
seen that?
and here's the thing.
that
My
movie?
mom used to carry me everywhere. Any
Oh,
West Indian function and
you
all,
had to
she's like,
go.
oh, let's go. Oh, Jelani, we're going to go to Queens. Oh, Jelani, we're going to go over. So, oh, Jelani, we're going by your aunt. She's having some curry queue. We're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the time, all you're hearing is soca. So,
And so you're
I grew up
you're-
on like Lil Marshall's,
Yeah.
Sherwin, Destro,
Yeah.
all that.
So your mom really made it like a priority to immerse you kind of in the culture.
Yeah.
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 So where I grew up, especially in Brooklyn, Crown Heights.
Oh yeah, Crown House is real.
Oh God, Crown Heights have a lot of Trinidadians
Yeah.
and a lot of West Indian people in
Yeah.
general.
I
When I
have
went to
family
school,
there.
West Indian people.
Yeah.
When I went to church, West Indian people. Even the bakeries.
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Indian-
yeah.
Everything.
Yo, Brooklyn is like that's just the like when you come to New York, that's like the Caribbean place. Like there's Caribbean people here, like Queens and the Bronx, but Brooklyn is really where it's at. Especially like even like where we're at situated. We're in Queens, but we're really close to Brooklyn. So usually like when my family comes over, a lot of them like they'll stop at my house and it'll be like 30 people. And it's like, okay, we're going to Brooklyn. It's like this mass exodus of people all going to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is really where that Caribbean vibes is.
Yeah, I would say Brooklyn has the most diverse amount of Caribbean people from all the different islands and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where we're big right now, like in Ozone Park. Obviously, you have like Little Guyana. You know what I mean? It's mostly like the big
and South Richmond Hill.
and South Richmond Hills is
But
the
don't.
big.
But we come up
big-
here for food all the time
Yeah.
and to party.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
nightclubs and stuff out here, insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's cool. New York really is
Yeah.
an important place, man, for the Caribbean. I mean, especially now when you're talking like with Guyana, like there's more Guyanese people in New York than actually in Guyana is so crazy. Like it's mind blowing. So here really is like a big cultural hub, and it's cool to hear that like that your mom made it like a huge priority to immerse you in the culture. And is that the thing that got you into the music, like when growing up and stuff like that, like going to all these different places?
you were because you're surrounded like. So there was never anything that pushed you away from it, too. You never had to
Well,
face it.
no, I've had my issues before. In another interview, I talked about how a lot of people tried to discourage me from my culture.
Yeah.
So growing up, like, although it was still like a mainly West Indian community, like there was little kids, and I had always had the accent.
Yeah.
So I always used to sound Trini anywhere I go, not sounding proper at all. And then someone's like, "Oh, Jelani, you need to stop with that Jamaican accent that you have, and you need to speak proper."
Back in the day, Jamaica was the entire Caribbeans, and Bob Marley was our president, just to set the time frame for outsiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after I heard that, I was like, "Oh, damn! Should I really change who I am?" So after a while, I was like, "Okay, let me start to sound proper, not even proper. Let me put on my American accent. Let me listen to
What's the American accent sound like?
Yeah, we gotta hear it.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Well, I don't know. It's not really different either.
Drop it.
Because even when I try to put it on, it still sounds trendy.
Put your interview voice on when you go talk to the man.
Let me go put on my phone voice. Hello, good afternoon. This is Jelani. How may I help you?
Why are you talking like Marvin? You sound like Teddy Pendergrass, yo. You sound like Marvin Gaye. Like you about to start singing some R&B to some like.
He even brought in the smooth vocals too. I like that though.
98.7.
But that's a really important point that you made though. Like growing up in New York City in America with a Caribbean accent, because it's true. It automatically makes you stand out as someone different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that a lot of first generation, people, when and if you're Caribbean, a lot of people have this kind of struggle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where
mispronounced.
of like, all right, like I hang out with American people and I have my American voice, but when I'm with my family, I got my Pato going on, I got my Creole going on and stuff like that. And it's like, do we really need to draw a line?
Yeah, you can do some identity issues as well. And
yeah.
Especially like, what didn't you have? What about you? Didn't you have any?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like, growing up, it was like I actually made it where I was like, I didn't want to have an accent growing up, because I was like, if I had this accent and I went to school with all these people who weren't Caribbean, I would be made fun of. So I purposely pushed that out of my life. And I remember being a kid, whenever my parents did talk with like all Guyanese, if my mom was like, Ras, you see Julie last night? She proper woke up, she was, oh my God. And I would be a kid, I'd be like, Mom, like, why are you talking like that? Like, speak like proper English and stuff, And then I got older and I was like, yo, this is fucking true. Julie was waking up, she fucking was last night.
Some things can only be said in that accent. It's a different language,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for like me, I don't know, like, I didn't really, because, like, they speak English and Creole at home,
mm-hmm.
but, like, well, for me, like, I used to mispronounce some words in English.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in school when you had to, like, read, like, aloud. Like, so, like, if I used to say, like, tree instead of, like, three.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I said,
Yeah.
like, I said
I
tree.
still say that.
Yeah.
No,
it's
but, like,
$3,
yeah. But, like, I remember I was, like, I said tree once. They were, like, tree. Like, the whole class, like, laughed. Even the teacher was like, tree, man, tree. Like, they're starting to, like, this whack, like,
some
chant,
stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, okay, guys, you got me. But, like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, it wasn't really, I don't think I was in an environment where it was really, like, push as much.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed if we were in Brooklyn or something like that.
Yeah.
Not gentrified Brooklyn, but, like,
Well, yeah, where I grew up has significantly changed.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find the Caribbean people. It just disappears every single day.
Are they putting raisins in the doubles now?
I know chicken doubles is a big thing, has that started?
That's an international controversy.
Yeah. Chicken doubles.
We have an avocado raisin.
Zaboka.
And
I don't even say avocado anymore. I say saboka all the time. Yeah. I can't. Saboka just sounds so much cooler.
This is weird because like some Creole words like everyone uses. It's weird because zaboka is avocado in Creole. Mm-hmm. And fat. That was one thing that threw me off when I found out that Trinidad people say fat. I was like, why are you saying fat? But then I learned later on that there's like Creole speakers.
I actually only
there's a few of them.
Creole,
yeah. They have a couple in Guyana too. I actually realized very recently because growing up as a kid, my parents never said it, but I guess now that I'm older, they've kind of felt less of the need to use a filter. But apparently, like Guyanese people say "watless" a lot, and I never knew the term "watless" until I heard Kessa's "watless." You know what I mean? And then one day I'm driving in the car, I hear my mom in the back seat talking. She's like, "Oh God, you remember when we was children, we used to climb mango tree and get on proper watless." And I turn around, I'm like, "Mom, what you know about Cass?" I was like, "How you know that song?" And it's like wow, like certain things really are just kind of timeless. When you're Caribbean, certain words, whether that be in the music or in the culture and stuff like that.
You're big in the culture. Mm-hmm. You was already observing at early age, studying like those martial art movies. When was the first time you got behind like the turntables or the ones and twos? do your thing?
The first time I got behind the ones and twos was that's a good question. Was at a Sweet 16 out in Long Island. I decided, hey, one of my family friends needed a DJ.
Yeah.
And they had a system, but they needed someone to play. So I was like, oh, let me try out and see if this could be a thing.
Have you used it before, or it's just like it's your first time actually?
First time actually using it.
Ever?
Wow.
How did that go?
Yeah, how was it?
It was cool.
You didn't like bomb or anything? Or like...
I mean, audience wise, it was a pretty church gospel-y thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what, are you playing like Kirk Franklin? I
got a CD with some church music, but then towards the middle of the party, that's when Soca came on.
You start to hit it with the everybody take a jump, take a jump, take a jump up. No.
Would you like remix it like with like take a jump for the Lord? Like would you do something like that? Like I was like,
I mean, my amateur self at that age, no.
You couldn't do that.
No, that's cool, man. That sounds like really, really good beginnings, man. Really, really good beginnings. Like being rooted in the culture, you know, having the appreciation for the music. All of that sounds like it was there from the beginning.
Definitely.
Which is really cool.
So then you do your Sweet 16 event. You kill it. You know, they're all praising Jesus as they leave. And then when you walked out of there, you're just like, I'm going to do this officially? Or did you fail?
For sure. I mean, here's the thing with me. I had always loved soca from an early age, and I'd always loved doing music. So regardless, I was gonna continue to be a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
that's really, really dope. So then after that, like, where was like your next big thing after this the Sweet 16?
Yeah, you had to get equipment, man.
Yeah, was the time in between like you perfecting your skills, or like how did it go?
So it was a little bit of a fundraising situation going on here. So my mom was like extremely concerned that, oh damn, my son wants to become a DJ now.
Because you know Caribbean parents,
doctor, lawyer, engineer,
doctor, lawyer, or engineer was like the only three career options you had. I think for any immigrant,
or get a city job.
Any immigrant in this for real. Any immigrant in this country, that's all they face.
Yep.
They want you to be one of the three.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more careers out there. So when I told my mom I wanted to be a DJ, she's like, are you sure? Jelani, you know you had to stand up in the night, all night you had to play music, you know, from 8 o'clock until 3 in the morning, and then you'll have to come home, and then you're going to be tired. And I'm like, but yes, this is something I want to do. And she's like, well, I don't know, you know. I don't really know. You sure you want to do? And then, you know how Caribbean parents, they like to prove a point. But eventually she did come around, because here's the greatest thing. The invention of the internet really helped DJ JEL over the past, 2009. So over the past, oh God, my maths is bad. 8 years?
Yeah, so were you DJing on that dial-up too?
So, no. What I used to do is I used to release mixes on a site called iMeme, which no longer exists. MySpace bought it out. But then there was YouTube, and then there's SoundCloud. So from there, I just built a following when it came to soca music. Yeah.
So how did you get the equipment? You said fundraising. Like,
yes. So
where did you go on a train? Like, I got candy.
Showtime.
Candy for my basketball team. Like,
so I mean, the good thing was that I had
like toss on the train for money.
Oh God.
Did you play steel pans? Because there is a guy that plays steel pans. And whenever I see him, I tell him to play some like soca music, and he gives me the look of like he was seeing Jesus for the first time, and he was just like, "Yo, what soca tune you want to play?" So would you bring the steel pans on, or how did you do it, Joe?
No, steel pans. That's my best friend. Shout out to Naomi.
Oh,
she plays pan professionally, and she's the best at it.
Awesome.
How did I fundraise? Well, I had a laptop at the time, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, as I tell you, we always go to these family functions.
Yeah.
So what was interesting about it, whether it's a basement party or a backyard party, they had always had like speakers, because, you know, West Indian people want to hear them.
Yeah, speakers.
So thanks to technology and digital DJ software, I was able to like plug in my laptop into their speakers, and then from there I used to charge them like a little 100.
To use your laptop.
Just to only use my laptop. Because
what software did you use to use at the time?
At the time, we used to use Virtual DJ.
Virtual DJ.
You didn't need a controller for it.
Yeah.
And that's where I actually learned a lot of the basics. Because with Serato, it's almost the same thing. I don't know why DJs get a lot of slack for using Virtual DJ. That's a good foundational software to learn the basics. Like, if you're a young DJ and you're listening right now, go to virtual DJ, use it, play around with it, learn how to mix, blend, learn about the BPMs because that's really important. And just experiment with it because you never know. So from there, we're talking about fundraising, right? So I used to charge them 100, 200, whatever. And then I think by the time I reached 400, 500, 600, my mom was like, "Okay, you've raised the money. You proved me wrong."
That's like Caribbean start seeing the dedication.
Now I have to match it and buy you a set, and that's ultimately what she did.
What was your first set?
She was acting like an employer matching a 401k right now.
Yeah.
Like,
what was your first set? What you got?
Very interesting budget set, but it got me through. It was a Denon MC3000.
Did you do like a lot of research? Were you doing a lot of research on like which one you wanted, blah blah blah? Or?
Yeah, definitely. It was my first set. I need to get something that would get me through, but was also like
most bang for your buck.
of exactly.
So where did you go to like?
Online.
Oh, you brought it online.
Yep.
Where Amazon or something? Like what?
One of those technology websites.
Yeah.
Amazon wasn't that big back then.
What?
Yeah, like you said, it was like what 2008, right? 2009.
2009 is
Amazon was
2011.
already there.
is
Amazon
when
was
I
already.
bought it.
Yeah.
Was Prime is popping back?
Oh, you only
then?
started 2011.
Like buying stuff. Yeah.
Wow, so much progress in such a short amount of time.
Oh,
like,
what? Who are you telling?
Yeah, that's incredible, man. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So you copped the set, and then when did you start doing like? You got your set. You're probably at home mixing and everything, and your family's kind of supporting you now. They kind of see the vision.
Well, yeah, a lot of the family and family friends, they knew I was a DJ from like a long time because what I also used to do to fundraise is sell mix CDs back when CDs.
Nice.
Well,
Nice,
actually,
nice,
CDs are
nice.
still popular among Caribbean people for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still think that people use their phones like, oh, put your phone in or Bluetooth or whatever, but people still value CDs.
Yes. Yeah.
Like even to this day, I'm still making money off of selling CDs, and I'm like, wow.
Where you selling that? A roti shop? Like,
You got to put it in front of the roti shop for sure, because all the roti shops here have it.
For some reason, I have it so good that people call me
oh,
to pick up their CDs.
So you got a solid clientele. You see?
Yeah.
ready. The plug.
Yeah, but sometimes I will go and drop off at roti shops or some other West Indian restaurants either in Brooklyn. And there are a few places in Queens that are selling my stuff without permission, but we didn't have to talk about that today.
It happens.
It's still, I mean, it happens. It's
Yeah.
good exposure.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah, because I remember showing like a Soca CD to someone, and they were like, they're Indian, right? And they were like, "Yo, are these CDs like legit?" And I remember this Trini guy. He was like, "Boy, these CDs right here, these are 100% authentic," and I never forgot that. But yeah, no, it does, shit like that does happen.
So, you slinging CDs. When did you started? You were doing a lot of family events. So let me say. So when you started DJing, like, what were some of the key tips as a beginner you started picking up? Like, who are you watching? How are you watching the crowd? Like, how did you know how to read crowds?
That's definitely
like, what was your process in that?
That's definitely number one and number two. You have to watch the crowd regardless.
Right.
Because if they're not moving, you're doing a bad job. And luckily, for some crazy reason, I was always able to keep a crowd. And then I've had people coming up to me like, "Yo, I've been to a lot of parties. I've never seen a DJ like been able to keep a crowd like you have." And I'm just like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even realize like I'm doing it." Because you're so, and here's one thing, you have to be focused. You have to know like which songs to select, what's gonna make the crowd react. Is it too old? Is it a young crowd? Is it
absolutely
old crowd? Like,
absolutely.
what would they like? And you have to put yourself in their shoes. Because also, as much as you can be a DJ, you also kind of have to be like that party goer.
Yeah.
You have to know, okay, what would I play now? It's like it's 12 a.m. People now starting to come because everybody runs on West Indian time.
Yep. So
like,
midnight is when everything
how
starts.
do you start the party?
Yeah.
And then that's where you have to go from there.
Yeah.
So what advice, like, if I don't know, I'm a beginner DJ listening to this, what are little things you pick up? Because I listen to other interviews, like I mentioned Tiesto, like he said one of the main things for him was like you have to look at women especially, because women like. If there's no women, it's like
there's no fed if there's no women.
Yeah,
Nope. It's that simple, It's exactly like
that's why
Fan
they
says.
get in free, and
Yeah.
guys, you have to pay $20.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you bring your romper, then you get in free.
No.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that will ever catch on, but yeah, definitely looking at women, they do they have a better response to the music.
Yeah.
In terms of beginner DJ tips,
Yeah.
what I stress with any DJ who asks me for advice, because there's people from all over the world who've reached out, and again, still in shock because I'm like, damn, I'm this this DJ here that's putting out mixes. And
Right.
people are reaching out. I'm like, oh God, what did I say?
Yeah.
But after a lot of thought, I realized that DJs, if you're coming up now, the most important thing you should pay attention to is what the market is missing. There's a big thing with marketing and branding when it comes to DJing, and not even DJing. When it comes to the music and sports industry in general, that makes or break your career. Like, it's not even about how well you play; it's about how much people you could bring to the table.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What's the game in missing?
And that makes a lot of sense too, because then it really begs the question of like, yo, what is the role of a DJ? You know what I mean? It really begs what is the role of a DJ, especially a Caribbean soca DJ. You know what I mean? So, for you, Joe, like, what would you say that is? Someone, you're a new DJ. You know what I mean? And now, like, you're doing it big at the Soca Fets. Like, how did your role? Would you say when it first started, like, what was it, and then how did it change, and like, what is it now? Do you think, like, the role of a DJ when it comes to soca and reggae and dancehall and everything right now?
So the role of a DJ in Caribbean music is to present the music, and I think that in the early days, a lot of people used to do that. So found very creative ways to introduce a particular song, or to at least put it in rotation. In terms of how the role has changed, I don't think it's changed so much, but I think the quality of DJing has gone down.
There's no benchmark!
No benchmark!
As Blacks would say,
No benchmark!
yes, as Blacks would say,
They don't know
there's
the crossfader! They don't know how to blend!
They don't know no BPM.
oh God,
They just play iTunes playlists!
yes. So unfortunately, what I'm seeing in the market, the soca market right now, the whole Caribbean market actually, is that a lot of the people is playing the same 15 soca, dancehall,
Shuffle.
and reggae
Disgusting.
songs. So you'll hear Palance 15 times in the party. You'll hear
Not 20,
rupees jump. You'll hear rupees jump. It's Carnival. What's the other classic songs? You hear
You
What
made a
Less.
whole list. You made a whole list.
What
this morning.
Less.
Wow.
Yeah.
Differentology.
Differentology. Yeah.
Kevin Little's Turn Me On.
Right.
So you'll
right,
hear
right.
all those songs.
Now
But my
folks
thing
say-
is, there's over, like, especially during a carnival season in Trinidad or for crop over, there'll be like over 500 songs released.
Yes.
You can't tell me that you can't pull some other songs from some other islands and then just play it or be updated. Thing is that the role of DJs today, or what it should be, is that DJs should do their research.
Right.
They should understand, okay, although I have a set of soca from Trinidad Carnival and it's good, we're now in what month we're in? June, July? I know that music for Crop Over is coming out. I know that music for Vincy Mass has been releasing since May. Why are you not putting that into your playlist?
Right.
see,
And this is coming. Just want to give a huge shout out and respect to DJ JEL for making, I think for me personally at least, the first Soca 2017 Vincy Mass mix. And it is absolute fire. So if you guys
there's
haven't,
some others, but his was the best.
if you haven't listened to it, check it out. It's on YouTube right now.
But I want to follow up on what you're saying, like the quality of DJs, because that's the same thing that's happening in a lot of different realms. Like, people are saying the quality of the DJs have gone down, and
Well, you know why, right? Because it's now everyone who has a laptop
Has
thinks they're a
access.
DJ.
There's no
And his-
benchmark. They
Yeah.
just go. They get their laptop. They don't know A flat. They don't know parallel.
there's no virtual
They
DJ.
just play on a laptop and they push
And
it.
I
on
mean-
They just play shuffle.
And
the
here's the-
iPod shuffle. They're a DJ. But
And here's the thing, though, because I could easily argument that for
Yeah.
myself. But the thing is that I've also had to learn, like, okay, there's certain things that it takes to become a DJ, and I think that there just needs to be that extra step. Because now the barrier to entry is so low that anyone could become a DJ, it's easier. And the thing is that if you have a DJ that's charging $500, who's a very good DJ, and then you have another DJ that's like your cousin and charges like $50 for like the whole night, which is terrible. Don't undervalue yourself, DJs, please.
absolutely.
But there are people who do that just to get that little forward and the fame and the popularity. So now the DJs who are upcoming and like some of the most established DJs, they don't get booked because you're competing with someone who charged $50.
that seems like
and their quality is terrible.
But you'll get that's like all those like design firms and stuff. Which it's good for the exposure. We're not gonna pay you, but it's like
Right.
like those
Yeah.
internships. It's good for the exposure.
It's exactly. It's an unpaid internship essentially for DJing.
But one thing about DJing that like the point I wanted to make is like it's across the board. A lot of different genres. There's issues going on, And I think I forgot which DJ it is. I think it was a hip hop DJ, DJ Clark Kent. He said true DJs are lovers of music. Like they actually love music. Like so with you, you grew up like
immersed in
you don't
the
even know the
culture.
first day you listened to soca. It was
Probably
just
not.
it was in the womb.
there.
You just
And here's the thing, my mom and all now, she's like, wow, you really like to make noise in the house now, because not even almost every day music that she blasting in the house.
Yeah.
I blast it downstairs when I'm eating, I blast it upstairs, I blast it in the backyard whenever I'm cleaning. I'm always consuming music because I know there's only so much time you can like.
yeah, but
Absolutely.
because you're that lover of music, so for you, it doesn't even feel like work. You're wanting to see the next thing. You want to see that.
You're genuinely interested to see what St. Vincent is
So
doing right now with the music and stuff like
Is
that.
that why like maybe we don't see that from other DJs? Maybe they're not fully invested into it.
Right.
Or maybe they're just they're very conservative, because also you can try to put some new stuff in, but it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, and they remember you're the one who I don't know, played.
Well,
Ponce.
a lot of it, and I can't speak to a lot of it, but the thing is yes, it is a risk, and sometimes risks, they don't always pay off.
Yeah.
Thing is that it's always scary to try something new.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that because you're used to, I'll get a forward if I play full extreme. I'll get a forward if I play fast wine. I'll definitely get a crowd response when Palance comes on. And this is again kind of why they still stuck in their mindset. But also the DJs themselves, they don't have the time to do the research. So they won't,
Why is that?
I don't know.
What-
Maybe too many bookings.
I know
maybe
you're branding and everything, but like, you are music. So if you're not looking at music, then what are you really? Are you just a mascot that plays?
Right. But then
Well,
all
they're
of
also
24?
following what other people are doing too. Like, it's easier for you to get that forward. So
get-
if
Right,
it is that
right.
X DJ plays this song, and he gets the biggest forward, I'm gonna come behind him and play the same thing.
Okay.
But then that goes back to really then what really is the role of the DJ today, right? Because for me, like when I listen to DJ mixes, right, the things that I've realized when I listen to different DJ mixes is I look for the style and how they do it, but listening to DJ mixes has really exposed me to music that I really wouldn't have heard. Like, for example, if I were to go on YouTube right now and type in like "Workout" by Kes, like I'll hear that song, and then I'll hear like a list of 7 other really, really kind of mainstream soca songs that happened this year. So I'll hear like "Workout," "Far From Finish." I'll hear "Full Extreme." But when I listen to DJ mixes, I hear a lot of tunes that I really wouldn't have heard just by like kind of looking on YouTube and typing in Soca 2017. So for me, what I look for when I listen to different DJs is like, what kind of music can they expose me to? Which is why when I heard that VINCY Soca mix, I was just like, holy shit, like this is incredible, because this is a whole playlist of tunes like put together in a really masterful way that a DJ should do it. But you also took the initiative to present music to people that really like people really wouldn't have listened to.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
I
mean?
mean, and to that point about the VINCY Soca, like I'm not Vincentian at all.
Yeah.
I'm not Bayesian
Yeah.
or from St. Lucia or Grenadian,
Yeah.
but I do listen to their music, and I think that the Caribbean as a whole, they create great soca music. They
Yeah.
elevate it to the next level all the time. But there isn't always that representation, right?
Right.
So VINCY music, for me, every VINCY mass season, like I've been doing this since 2010?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I have a VINCY mix for every year.
That's awesome.
It's hard to find their music.
Yeah.
Like their industries, like outside of Trinidad in general, it's not marketed well. So I say, there's a lot of VINCYs living here. I'm pretty sure they'd like a mix for the carnival season. So that's where that idea came about.
Yeah, that was one thing I will say that really, that's the thing that impressed me the most with that mix too, is just the arsenal of songs that were in that mix. Just
And
so
like-
many songs.
Like some of the songs, like whenever, like the what you call it, Where We Come From, like starting like
Yes.
that song.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
love that song. Like to me, that's one of the best songs I've heard all year.
And you see, that's the song that they're not playing in
Yeah.
St. Vincent.
And I'm just like,
And that song is basically like Vincentians in a nutshell.
Yeah.
like yo, I heard this. I was not joking when I feel like, yo, I heard this song and I can see people like jumping and waving
Yep.
in slow motion,
Yeah.
and telling where we come from. Like,
Yeah.
This song was incredible, and it was, and also like I can get the mindset too, like the DJ's thing to start your mix out with that. It's like just like yo, let people know like yo, this is like what's good and like stuff like that. Like I like hearing these gems, but like where the gems at? Who's gonna take that risk?
Right.
Because you know what, risk pays off. If you're a DJ who's able to put these different songs in that should be like people never heard. Like we were talking this morning, like you know. What was the song? You're saying how you like the VINCY sound, how they have like that older 2000
The
like,
power soca, because
soca
power
kind of
soca
flow,
is dying too.
Yeah.
Like especially, and I'm bringing up Trinidad all the time, but Trinidad, because of the mecca of soca, they kind of dictate what soca songs will be
and what the
mainstream
style is going to
and
be.
what the style is.
Yeah.
So now, because Trinidad's being dominated by like American influences,
Right.
everyone now wants to dress up and look nice in the party and wear
Right,
their high
right,
heels.
right.
So when you're doing that, you know you don't want to. Yeah, so when the girls and them wearing their high heels and they're looking nice, you think they want to jump up? No, they want to stand up and look cute and do a little rock, which is why
Don't
groovy
wear
soca is dominating in Trinidad right now.
Yeah.
But up the islands, they don't give
They don't. It's
at
true.
all.
So he's blaming the high heel industry. Is what he's saying.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing: Trinidad have everything. They have a lot of the commercial stuff. They have a lot of the fast food restaurants. Forever 21 is coming
Real
soon.
deal. KFC.
They have Chuck E.
Nice.
Cheese. They have everything America have.
Yeah.
So
Cheese. Oh, they got the
because
World Star videos coming.
what they have everything. So
World
because
Star
they want to
videos
be
are
more like America, like
Right.
they've slowed down.
Right.
But up the islands, they have some of those things, but they're still kind of connected with their culture.
I think it's really cool to see too, because it's like you're right, like power soca is almost, I would say, in Trinidad it's like it's almost non-existent. Like I haven't heard like a mean power soca in a very long time, you know what I mean? But it's cool to listen to other islands, like listening to like bouillon music, you know what I mean? And then it has that power soca vibe and that high tempo, but it also still has aspects of like their culture that really wasn't in Trinidad soca. Like for example, utilization of like a saxophone, you know what I mean? And
brass,
and
yeah.
having brass and like
Brass,
sax
brass.
solos and just like holy shit, like where is this today in you know in the
and
modern
then
soca,
Jab
you know?
Jab and Grenada.
Oh, Job Job never used no stove. We heated up on some firewood. Yo,
Yo,
for
Chop
real.
Chop, like, yeah, I really want to go to that, man, because that looks crazy.
Me and Kendricks had this idea of as like a video thing. We're gonna go on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, probably the bougiest area of Manhattan, and wear nothing but underwear and coat ourselves in oil and have the Viking hat and have a piece of dripping red saltfish and just going up to random people with the demon walk.
Yeah.
With the demon walk, and we're just gonna go up to random people.
Yeah, go with the stroller like those big ass babies.
Exactly.
Some of you
know?
babies are too big for that stroller. Get up and walk. All right.
But no, it's true. It's that these other islands, like you said, have a style that was reminiscent of early soca or completely new, and it's mixed their culture. But you're right, it's not given the representation. But I think personally that we're starting to see that change, especially. But I see it mostly with the DJs having the biggest role in that.
The DJs are the gatekeepers, because I
Yeah.
was saying, like, for some people, I think it's just seasonal, where it's Trinidad, their music, and then when their carnival's done, soca's done until it starts picking up for Trinidad. But then you have this whole
Yeah.
area, and then because Vincy's dropping so much heat, I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And they don't get a lot of recognition for it. Like,
so is St. Martin too,
much
the
heat.
Booleans, yeah.
St. Lucia coming through, dropping heat. All these places are dropping heat. And it's not only like, we'll say like there's like the older styles like that. What's that grabber from that song, Madness?
Madness, yes.
Yeah, we're talking about like how that's gonna be one of the mean road tunes. But like not even that, but then they're doing all these different styles. Like I like Mason a lot. Mason is
Mason is probably one of the most talented people after
Very
Skinny
underrated.
Fabulous.
I was just gonna bring up Skinny.
Yes,
I was
Skinny.
just gonna bring up Skinny because Skinny's on 2 bouillon rhythms. You know what I mean? In the past year, and he's so good at it. He's so good at it.
Like even like it'll be a rhythm that didn't go like it just some reason maybe the marketing failed.
Yes.
It wasn't that big, but then you'll listen to his track and it's fire, bro.
And if you hear the artists that we talk about, when we talk about like artists like Skinny and stuff like that, like these are the artists right now who are trying different things. You know what I mean? And they're excelling at it. And it's like we said, like it's really scary to try different things. There's a huge chance to flop, but you know, if you look at the things that in terms of like EDM soca, with people trying to move into EDM soca to cater more to a Western audience, like, let's be real, like, that's really like we shit on EDM soca, it's really not that good. But then you pull in,
Sometimes it works.
it can work for
like,
some. It can work
there's
for
some tunes like
Ola,
Midnight
Ola,
Cruise.
yeah, Ola and System 32, you know,
Voice and
Battle Royale,
exactly.
obviously. But you know,
Most of the time it sucks.
most of the time it's really.
But most of
it's
the time
not
they
that
try to
good.
be like everyone else, and
Exactly.
it's not original.
Yeah, that's exact. I think that's the one of the most important things you said, is that the originality when it comes in. Because then when you look at artists like Skinny Fab who do their booyan rhythm, they still manage to keep the style, but they're still on a whole different rhythm. You know what I mean? Creating like a fusion that kind of really hasn't been done before. And it's the originality that makes it so good, and that it's nostalgic. It has that power soca vibe. Whereas it's like, you know, the EDM stuff, like, while it works for some artists, but you really can't vibe to it.
No, man.
You can't get on vibe to it.
I'm tired of hearing these nuclear war attacks happening on your song, alright?
Like, I feel like Fallout 4 is about to hit anytime,
Yeah,
you know, I hear that
man.
thing in a soca fed.
Hey, I don't want no car alarms on this song.
But I think the one thing that I never actually really thought about is when you said, like, yo, okay, like, girls dressing up really pretty now in the heels and stuff. Because I remember as a kid, when it was Power Soca time and, like, my parents were, you know, listening to it, all the girls, every single girl in a fete would throw the shoes under the table and be barefoot on the
Or
dance
they
floor.
would be prepared themselves. They would have on short pants.
Yeah.
Short pants is
Yeah.
the main thing for any fete. You know,
It's
you go into
so
a
true.
fete, put on a short pants,
Yeah.
you're good.
Or even like leggings or something, you know what I mean?
Something where
Like,
you can move.
yeah, it's something real. Yeah, it's true. It's true. So yeah, it's cool, man. I think the role of DJs when it comes to Caribbean music is really much more important than people make it out to be, in terms of, you know, spinning a track here and there and making a nice party. You know, I look at the role of DJ as like, you know, what kind of music are you gonna bring to the table? What are you gonna highlight? Who's gonna get represented and stuff like that? And you know, that's the way that I see it. You know.
Yeah. So we're talking about risk and thing. How do you take risks? If we're complaining about everyone else, they're, you know, all these DJs act like Light FM and play the same 20 songs. What do you do to not be like them? What do you do? What are your
Well, I mean, I would say my whole...
if you don't want to give away the secrets. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't give away all the secrets, but I would say my strategy right now, because it's very hard for a DJ for me to do soca right now, in the sense that everyone's trying to be the next either Private Ryan or the next Puffy.
Right.
Because right now music is on a whole, like if a DJ knows how to play like all these different types of music, they'll get it forward. And yes, you will.
Yeah.
But
DJ
then
Puffy did.
that's taking away the quality from our culture, right?
Right.
So we know right now there's a lot of eyes on soca music, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I also know that I grew up in it. I love it. I eat, sleep, and shit it.
Yeah.
So no, on a real though.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, if it is that I love it so much and I have the passion for it, the risk that I'm taking is exposing other people to the soca music from other islands.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm gonna take a hit from my usual audience that only likes chutney soca. or
Right,
only listen
right,
to
right,
it.
right, right.
But with that risk,
Get
there's always
differentiation.
rewards.
Yes.
And there's differentiation.
Yes.
So I'm hearing that there's like bars in St. Vincent playing DJ JEL, and I'm like, wait,
Word?
really?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. Which is
So-
awesome.
Big it up. 784. Big it up.
Yeah, pick up the 784 posse one time. Y'all showing a lot of love, and
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
see
appreciate
Vincy
it.
connect like, yo, DJ JEL always looking for your mixes, because you know he's always on the YouTube comments.
Yeah, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, which
did
has
a
been really cool.
lot. YouTube, did a
YouTube,
lot.
I think, really did a really good job at helping build a Caribbean community around new music. You know what I mean?
Because like, even though like before like YouTube and stuff, like we as a people never really got to get, you know, what's our new music? What's the new music?
It would
Well,
be
yeah,
from the
it would be
CDs.
cassette tapes or
It would be
CDs.
from the
So we'd
CDs,
have
yeah.
to like, you know.
So, you
find
know,
these
once
mixes.
Carnival
the-
finished, then you go
yeah.
to your roti shop, or
Yeah.
you go
The difference
to-
with the CDs and with YouTube is that YouTube is a platform of conversation. You know what I mean?
But not even
feedback.
that. It's like that accessibility. You get accessibility
Yeah,
to
yeah,
more. Because
yeah.
if you don't get the Vincy CD, you're not gonna know. But me, I could just like, oh, DJ JEL, you know,
Yeah.
Vincy Soca Sampler. Like,
Yeah.
yo, this is fire! Oh my god!
And again, the way
Yeah.
that the role of internet, how it influences the role of DJs.
and
You know
like,
what I mean?
for me, like just thinking Caribbean music in general, like like Spotify doesn't really keep up with this.
So yeah, they do not.
Yeah.
And I'll actually have to big up Radio.
Yeah,
Radio.
We're gonna do a video.
Use Radio every night.
Radio is the
Doing the beta
premier
testing.
soca app right now.
Yes.
Big up Abe and Andre, the
And also,
creators of Radio.
just so people know, DJ JEL's mix is on the DJ section of the Radio
Yo,
app.
your Vincy mix ain't on there, man. Put it on there, bro.
Yes. So
Yeah.
one thing about Radio, they are a very great team.
Yes.
They have been busy with some projects.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
as you would expect.
Yeah, they're doing, like,
as
the
you would
whole
expect.
video thing.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah,
they're doing
we'll
a
be out
lot.
there soon.
Yeah.
They're building a soca database from almost nothing.
But
you know,
like he's listening to them like, yo, it's from their heart because they're just like, yo, this is gonna happen regardless.
Regardless,
And
absolutely.
like I see it like to me like in my life like not having that centralized, location to go for Caribbean music because like just the other day like one of my uncles he had like his old iPod and he wanted me to put music on it so
Mm-hmm.
like because he didn't really know how to use it and like if they had that location where I could be like. Oh, you could just go on Radar
And then just have it
they'll
all?
have like
Yeah.
compas and stuff. So he came over and I put like whatever my compa playlist was and I gave it to him. But like if we had that special community, because our thing is different. They don't really care. These people there are a lot of these people whose eyes are on like our stuff. They're just trying to see how they're gonna use it.
Oh, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the big
Yeah,
artists are sampling soca and
yeah,
sampling
absolutely,
dancehall
without
and
getting the
running
credit for
with
it. And it's happening really
Look
big
at
in
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat.
Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
Yeah, it's happening right
Yo,
now.
what's
Big
that
with
song?
Afrobeat.
That song, yo, they straight jacked it, yo. I gotta show you the song. It's Pia Mia song with Jeremiah. I wrote it down on Trello, but like I'll show it to you later. Like, yo,
Okay.
they jacked the whole thing straight.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they're coming for us because it's the wave. So how do you feel like we can defend,
Yeah.
defend soca?
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't thinking about that yet.
How do we become the soca defenders?
That was the name of our first podcast.
Yeah, it was.
I would say through copywriting. I think the biggest thing that the soca industry is missing
Yes.
is a business side to it. So a lot of people they don't go and copyright their work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have necessarily managers. We don't have an industry. As Black said, there's no,
No
benchmark. There's literally
No, Johnny Cochran.
I mean, we have a soca industry and we don't have a soca industry.
yeah.
I understand.
We're missing that
Yeah.
business element of it where
Yes.
we can actually claim what's ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why outsiders can easily take our music
Yes.
and market it as tropical house or some other.
Exact tropical house. Oh God.
The first time I read that, I was like, wait, what?
tropical house.
When I see Justin Bieber's "Sorry" as
Bus
tropical
video.
house, I'm like, this is
Yes.
straight dancehall.
Yeah.
And they call it tropical
Yeah,
house.
absolutely. And I remember Warren. Shout out to
Warren
Warren Civic, the soca critic. Shout out to Warren. But we were wasn't it something we were talking about in the group chat where this year was something like the first ever court case for was it for soca music in
Yeah,
general?
so
or
for a copyright case.
for a copyright case in
between
soca.
Anson and the full blown entertainment.
FBE,
yeah.
who they wrote the song "People," right? Or they
People by Cass and
Yeah.
Cheers to Life by Voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
two extremely
They're really
important
talented.
soca
They're
tunes.
really
Yeah, very
talented
talented.
people,
Yeah,
but, the
but
business
shit,
side can get
what's happening?
the business side can get kind of kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
How do you avoid that? Like, what are your tips to like avoid the
For what? Exactly?
like just like the soca, like just being in this music industry, kind of like I mean you're a DJ, but still you're involved in the industry. And there's a lot of tricks and dirty things people do. Well, we talked about promoters per se, but is there any other things you should look out for people taking advantage of you?
I would say, and I mentioned this earlier, just don't undervalue yourself.
Yeah.
Like, have a lot of patience because in this industry, there's a lot of people that will want to push you down. They don't want you to succeed.
Right.
Damn, sound like DJ Khaled right there.
Keys to Success by DJ JEL.
But on a real, they don't want.
Don't hold me back. DJ JEL giving it to you straight, so you don't hold me back. All right.
But they don't want you. Real talk. A lot of people don't want you to succeed, and then there's a few percentage that do want you to succeed.
Right.
Never undervalue yourself, and make sure you're comfortable with like whatever price point you set.
Yes.
And know that things will happen in due time.
Yeah, so one thing that a lot of people say is like, oh yeah, this like shit like that happens in all the music industries and stuff like that. But I think you're right. If you start having more like legitimate, like legal kind of work inside the soca industry, things like that can and should be avoided, So one thing I want to ask you, like now talking about the soca industry, because soca industry especially for soca fans in New York City, like we hear the music and we hear the mixes and we have our opinions about it, but the one thing that we don't have an insight into is the soca industry
There's
itself.
no SOCA TMZ yet.
Yeah,
you guys should be thankful, actually.
The soca industry for us is like a black box that only happens in Trinidad, and it is like, now can we get an insight into that black box, and you know what, like what's like the likes and dislikes of what's really going on in the soca industry?
They're lucky there's no TMZ there. It would be terrible.
Yeah, so the likes about the industry, well, at least for me in the DJ soca industry, is the crowd, the people, the fans. The reason why I do what I do every day and why I wake up and why I guess I have a purpose in life, wow, getting really philosophical here, is that the fans, they love it, they want it. People in St. Vincent, people in Trinidad, people in the UK. Where's the most unorthodox place? People in South Africa.
Germany.
Germany, yes.
When are you gonna put some Japan soca? Take some risks.
Oh yeah,
take
Japan. I forgot about Japan.
And that's
take some risk. Put some Japan soca. You're talking all that trash.
Because when I think about really the most obscure country who has been listening to soca like for the past 10 years, longer than a lot of European countries, really Japan has like been on soca for a long time. Like, you know?
Yeah, so, and it's funny about Japan. I like their soca. No, on a real, I do like, they have good experimentation. I think they don't have a solid understanding as to what our culture is. But
they're on the way.
They're on the way. And the thing is that other artists, like a lot of the bigger artists like Ufenals, Bungie Garland, like some of the established ones, the ones that are experimental, should try to reach out to like Angie. You know Angie, every soca monarch, she has to come and perform.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a year where Angie, I think this was 2016, Angie performed better than half the people in semifinals and still didn't get into the finals.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
And I think that and the thing is, they're embracing our music, right? We always wanted our music to go mainstream. When music goes mainstream, which country does it have to pass through? Not Japan. A lot of the music that has gone mainstream in the past couple of years have done really well in Japan. Yeah. There's a huge market in Japan. And the thing is that if you have people who are embracing soca music, you should not make fun of them. I know Trinidadians, we like to make fun. And a lot of Caribbean people make fun of Japanese soca. And the thing is that you shouldn't.
They don't have
like if they had that mindset to understand that they love Trini culture.
This is why people always take advantage of us. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bro.
So you have to have people need to really have the appreciation of, you know, like, yo, this island from all the way across the globe is in tune with our music.
How much that flight costs?
Yeah.
And then their remake of I think they did a song on the Jepsting Nina rhythm.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they had that little rum shop, and they even waving our flags.
Yeah, but that's one thing I would like to big up Japan, especially like visiting Japan. One thing I noticed, like, for them, like, they don't actually, like, you know, everyone's like, oh, cultural appropriation.
It's for them, it's cultural appreciation.
They really appreciate the culture.
It's like they're proud to show
they're
off
proud.
that they know.
And
like,
you know what it is
whatever
too?
it is,
they feel free, like, because you know Japanese culture is very rigid, and they're always trying to have a face on, a perfect kind of appearance, a face that they need to put on, and I think it's cool that they embrace soca and appreciate it more than a lot of Caribbean people I know, and that they appreciate the freeing aspect of it, right? And that they look at it where it's something where it's like, you know, it's not like they're just doing this to be cool. They're doing this because they genuinely appreciate it. It makes them feel good. You know what I mean? It's a liberation for them.
And they also come to Trinidad for Carnival
they
almost
actually
every
go.
year.
They have a freaking band.
Yes. They have a DJ that comes down too. They have I think it's Hamu and I can't remember their names, but they definitely have people that come down. They have a pan player. Unfortunately, rest in peace, Asami. She used to come down all the time.
Yeah, it was a terrible story, a tragedy what happened to Asami.
But like that mentality that I just see with all Korean people, like they just they're not forward.
Again, that's what's a barrier to our music going through,
and that's why you're like, how did this guy who knows nothing about this comes
somehow
in and runs everything?
Yeah,
because they're not forward thinking. You know, it was making music, no copyright, no protection. That's your intellectual property. That's your IP. But you think Beyonce does that? Beyonce don't play like that. She don't care if you're a fan. Yo, I've seen her cease and desist letters like, we know you're a Beyonce fan, blah, blah, blah. But please take this down or else, yo, we're
You'll
on
get sued.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on you. Like, And like you gotta have that. Like,
And I mean, Trinidad is getting there. I also have to big up Kobayashi. Alex
Kobayashi.
and in St. Vincent.
Yeah.
He's definitely
big things, man.
he's
Yeah.
doing big
Love
things,
Kubi
but he's
right now.
also working on copywriting as well. Like
Yeah.
he's holding severe penalties to people who re-upload his stuff without
Right.
permission.
VP Records is also pretty big on copyright too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? VP Records, you know, they also have their one of their record stores based out here in New York too. Yeah, and even for me, like I posted when we were doing like a Kes the Band kind of tribute, like our Tuesday on the Rocks for Kes. I posted like a very small segment of the Tuesday on the Rocks music video, and like as soon as I posted it, it was like, yo, violation, VP Records. And
yeah, VP Records.
Yeah.
They be annoying on Instagram. Son.
yeah, but the point is that it's
But
it's
like-
annoying, but it's necessary. You know what I mean? And like I understand why VP does what they do. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of other industries need to start doing stuff like that. Because the appreciation is there, but if we don't start, like it's annoying. But like if we don't do it, it opens the doors for like other people to just come in and just jack the shit, and not get any bigging up for it whatsoever. So, yeah, the soca industry, man, it's interesting. What would you say is one of the biggest issues in the industry right now?
In terms of the soca DJ industry or the soca industry in general?
Soca industry in general.
I would say lyrical content in soca music.
Okay.
I think that
Yeah.
we get caught up in the same
Walk,
wine, juk,
horn,
dagger,
Like
horn.
Black says.
And it's not just soca and chutney soca too. It's
Yes,
the same
absolutely.
thing. It's rum, sex, and
Absolutely,
horn.
absolutely.
My woman left me,
Yeah.
and she horned me.
even
and
in
all that.
even in chutney, you know what I mean? Just the remixes of Bollywood tunes, but even though yes, chutney has roots.
In India,
in
that doesn't necessarily
still.
mean that you have to
Exactly,
like take from
exactly.
India. We can create
Yeah.
our own thing and make it still
Exactly.
sound.
So what do you think? Where do you see
Authentic.
chutney at? Like overall, looking at chutney as a genre, is it like
Well, right now, chutney needs a huge revamp, and I know
Yes,
Richie,
absolutely.
you and I talked about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
would
'cause I
like
have
to
the same
where
sentiments.
the main points? Drop them.
Absolutely.
Drop them. Bombs.
For me, okay, so chutney is something where being Indo-Caribbean, right? Because when you're an Indian Caribbean, first of all, you don't fit in with other brown races in terms of Indians do not see Guyanese people or Trinidadian Indian people as Indians.
Nope.
Pakistani people don't see you as Pakistani. Even you know what I mean. Bengali people, same thing. We're not included in that southeast kind of diaspora, even though we originate from there. But we're not really blanketed under the same umbrella.
You hear that, New York Regents? They need their own thing to check off.
Yes, because I always worry about that. I'm like,
Yo,
there's
it's
nowhere
true.
to check off.
I have nothing to fucking check off when I'm in school. I gotta check off Pacific fucking Islander.
yeah,
I'm
when
not Samoan. The fuck is this?
When I was in school, all the Guyanese kids would be so confused asking the teacher, "What do I check
What do you
off?"
check
real.
off? Asian? Do you check off black?
Right.
Like, what do you check off?
So that's why for me, chutney, it really is an important thing for me because chutney, I think, is one of the few things that Indo-Caribbean people have that we can actually say this is part of like what it means to be an Indian Caribbean, not just an Indian person or any type of other brown race, but this is what it actually means to be like an Indian Caribbean person. So like going back when it was like when you had like Sunny Man dropping Lotela and stuff like that. When Sunny Man dropped Lotela, right? That really was a revolutionary tune, right? Yo, we got Jelani here screwing in the light bulb right now and petting the dog. Which is that's the dance and it's fucking awesome, And anytime you hear Lotela, even today, the
Yeah.
whole place is popping off, But Lotela at the time, so this is gonna go back to when we were saying in chutney, in soca, in chutney soca, and even in chutney, it really is rum, women, this, that. And I think a lot of that goes back to a lot of people saw Sunny Man's formula and they just, instead of trying to innovate, like what happened in soca, they kept that same formula for, I don't know, like the past like 20 years instead of changing it. So like Sunny Man, like Lotela, like it's not in English, right? But the song is about a man getting married to a woman and then he's having an affair with the Bauji, which the Bauji I think is the mother. I think it's the mother-in-law.
Sounds like a sponge.
Yeah, and I think the language of that is like Bhojpuri or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the theme of that song is like that was when really started getting like controversial kind of like songs about women in chutney. And the only thing that's changed in chutney is just the language. We've changed it from like, you know, Lotala type Bhojpuri language to like English.
Yeah.
But the theme is still the same. So it's like, why the fuck can't we change the theme? Like, why do we, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I love budget.
Because, yeah, I love budgets.
But, you know,
I love rum is my lover.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, we need to have a space again, like Jason was saying. Shout out to Jason Autar, you know, for having women in chutney. And I'm just like, there's no benchmark in chutney.
They invented the genre and they're not there.
Yeah, like
that's absurd. Like
it's crazy.
Made it. And
Drupati, like, you know what I mean?
There's like one. You don't
and
hear from her.
You know, and even like chutney mixes, like where are DJs at with chutney mix? Like I think Loverboy did like a chutney mix, which, you know, makes sense. Like he's Indo-Caribbean, you know what I mean? But like, where is it? I don't even think that DJ's not doing chutney is because of chutney itself. I just think strictly it's because really it goes back to the source of like, yo, the type of tunes that are being pushed.
Exactly. Like, here's the thing.
You know
I
what
grew
mean?
up on chutney soca too. So I used to have that a lot in the house. I used to remember we talked about the classics earlier. I love the classics in chutney soca. But over the years, and I think a lot of Indo-Caribbean people, as well as Afro-Caribbean and mixed, they feel that the lyrical content is just not.
Yeah, it's not there. Yeah,
it's not there.
Yeah, and it sucks because, like, you know.
So wait, what do you want from the lyrical content?
We want something that doesn't have rum, sex, and horn.
So
give
what
us
else?
something
Give us-
conscious. Give us something that has
Yeah.
storytelling, like Jahaji Pai by Brother Marvin.
Yeah.
Give us Roll Up the Tassa. Give up Real Unity by Marshall and Drupati without the Bollywood sample. But still, give us something that, you know, makes sense and doesn't appeal to like the norm that's going on in
So
chutney.
what was the last song you heard like that?
I would say, I don't even want to say Jupsting Nina, but
Jupsting Nina was a mean storytelling tune, though.
What was
Yeah.
Ram Singh Sharna about?
Ram Singh Sharma also.
The village
also,
ram from Sawa.
Yeah, Ram Singh Sharma, yeah, it's a storytelling tune about this guy who is like a village guy, but somehow has the power to have women do whatever he asked them to
But
do.
then we still go into the
you're still going
conversation
back to the
about
same
women.
thing, you know what I mean?
What about Demo Watch Me? What was that about?
Demo Watch Me. So Demo Watch Me was actually a really cool tune too. I love that song. And it's about like a guy, you know, who he feels that everybody's talking about him and women aren't minding their own business. And that, you know, all the women are talking about him. If they see him walking an old lady across the street, they think he's horny and, you know.
You know what, guys? I don't think I agree with you because you completely forgot about Ratini Cinema. You completely forgot about
Ratini
when
Cinema.
he went to see Harry Potter 2.
I got Stinky Bihari.
Yeah.
Oh, and even, yo, Stinky Bihari too.
Yeah.
But, yo, a lot of people don't big up Chupake enough. Yo, I pack up my car in Sawa, Chupake. I get the flat tire in Sawa, Chupake. Me I have no something, or spare tire. What is it? Me I have no spanner? Me I have no spanner or spare. So, like, that's like a cool tune. It's funny. It's relatable. I'm sure shit tons of people have gotten flat tires in Sawan, and you gotta end up taking a maxi home even though you don't want to, you know. But you know, it's been a while for real. It really has for me been a while since, you know, I've really heard like, yo, like as much as I love Ravi B's budget and I love that performance by Ravi B, the soul that went into it, the budget that must have gone into that performance, just the tribute to Anand Yankaran, like as much as I love that, I'm like, yo, it's still really not something in like groundbreaking and new.
So Jao, who do you think can do it? Who do you think can?
I would say it would have to. Don't want to say it's gonna be a new artist, but I think what's gonna have to happen is that we're gonna need those collaborations we've had in the 2000s for sure. The thing is that the division that's going on in Trinidad is that, you know, chutney is primarily Indian and
absolutely
soca
There's
is
a
primarily
huge racial
African,
division.
and
So
then
they're
on
not
top of that,
listening
there's
to
like
each other?
Afro soca too. Like there's all this division
they're
going
not
on
listening
in the.
to each other? What's going on?
So
they do listen. To
they
each
do
other,
listen
but
to
they
each other,
don't,
but
like,
it's still like even the Indo-Caribbean youth that are growing up in Trinidad, they don't find chutney as cool as before.
Absolutely, and even
even
Indo-Caribbean.
with all the horning, even with all the KI
it's true. It's true. KI make me do it.
Like-
But even here in New York, though, Indo-Caribbean people in New York, like I find like that.
Like they're like, why are you playing this Indian
yeah,
music for?
exactly.
And my thing
Yeah.
is, this is a part of our culture, regardless.
Absolutely. Like the amount of people whenever I go to like Mazi nightclub, or if I go to like Mantra and stuff like that, and I go to these places, you know, a lot of nightclubs here in South Ozone Park, they have chutney power hour in the last hour. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. is like kind of typically when they play chutney. And I've noticed that like, yo, during that hour, it's like less and less and less and less people vibing to it. Like I'm gonna be there drunk as fuck, or rum on my hand, like dancing in a circle while spinning in a circle. But it'll only be really me and my friends. But the women who are dancing, I notice, are always older women.
Yeah.
So
always older women.
So they're not drawn to it because it's, I won't listen to Indian shit, or like they're not drawn to it because they don't like the lyrics, or do they just think it's past them? Do you just see it as an old people thing?
Yeah,
Or-
it's-
I mean, yeah, you do kind of see it as
think it's a
old
little bit
people
of
thing,
all,
because
really.
here's the thing, they do play a lot of the classics in that chutney
Yeah,
power hour,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
And again, what are they drawing on? The classics,
The classics.
not the new stuff.
Yes,
Because the new
yes.
stuff not
Because the
good.
new
Yes.
stuff is just
Yes.
trash.
Younger people still will appreciate Lotela, but I think they appreciate it more so because it's something their
family,
family and what the parents did. And I'm not gonna lie, for me, that was how it was for me too, until I started learning about it a bit more. But the newer chutney tunes is not something that I would say like how
Same
how
girl
how
twice,
how
I'm not
how,
gonna
how,
like
how,
same
how,
girl
how you
twice.
and I, we have that passion for
Same
for
girl
how we have that
twice.
passion for budget when we hear there is the price around mini
mini
budget, and then we all go no.
I just heard my
'Cause it's
neighbor's
like-
my neighbor's kid was singing that this morning. I just heard her go no, like she's like 5.
Yeah.
Same budget.
Yeah.
But budget's an interesting tune because even the original is something Murad, I can't even pronounce it that
But
well.
it's a-
There's
it's like
Muralia,
an old Bollywood joint, right?
Muralia, something like that.
Yeah.
Is a fire Indian tune that resonates with people like my parents and my grandparents. You know, it's like from a movie from like the 40s.
Yeah,
So-
1940s.
Yeah,
So-
black and white.
So you're saying they so it's got to be the people now to change it. New lyrical.
Yes, I
content.
definitely think it's the youth
But-
that have to change it. The thing is, the youths in the Caribbean, they don't have a platform again. So the older people feel that the younger people are coming to take their market share, to take
Right.
their their place in the industry.
Yeah.
And they, you know, they feel threatened. And the
Yeah.
same thing happens in the DJ industry too. Like there are a bunch of older DJs that are now, you know, becoming, you know, worn out. No offense to y'all. Y'all are the veterans. Y'all set the standard for us. But they're afraid for a lot of the younger people to take over.
See, that's in a lot of industries. Actually,
That's in
like
a lot
that-
of industries
that
for sure.
ageism. Damn. So.
But I mean, in hip hop and
Yeah.
in like the little club
that-
and
that-
mainstream
that-
and
that's-
stuff,
yo, that
that
was a big-
stuff isn't really evident.
Well, okay. Well, it was a thing in hip hop to say like.
But look now, every year you kind of have this new young
but
person
that's
coming
the
on the
thing.
scene
That's the
making
thing.
hits
It's-
after hits.
It's that they can't stop them anymore. Before, like that's what happened in New York. That's what really like helped the South take over. A lot of these old dudes, they were not supporting New York artists, and like you'd go to like these other like cities, like Atlanta supports their artists. They support young guys. All the big producers want to work with young guys. They want to mentor, you know, young guys. But if that's not happening in SOCA, well, you said some people are doing it in SOCA. So let's pick some of them up. Who do you think are like in SOCA out here for the youth, or maybe someone you've come across in the industry that's like they're an older person, they're a veteran, and they're trying to, you know, big you up, like that Pretty song. We are a veteran,
Which is a great tune, actually, very unique soca
yeah,
tune.
and that's
Paying homage to the older soca legends.
So
and stuff.
who are like the veterans that you see in the industry that like I look up to, like this person trying to put me on, big me up?
I can't say anyone locally in New York, but if I had to say Trinidad, I would definitely say
I don't know how
Roy
my friend
Cape.
got in that shit. Oh,
Roy Cape.
yeah.
Also, well, now they're not even there.
They changed their name.
Their name has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Are they the All Stars now?
read
Yes,
it's
because
like
I think
the
Roy
All-Star.
Cape has cancer, so then they're now the All Stars. But Roy Cape All Stars has always been an outlet for the younger artists like Ricardo Drew, like Voice. I wouldn't say Tizzy, but like for the younger artists, for them, you know,
Yeah.
to get a little experience, a little practice, or whatever. Definitely them. Crazy.
Crazy,
yes.
Yo, I didn't know
Mr.
Crazy was really out there helping people. He had a
Yeah.
song. What's the song he had? Like
He had a nice chutney soca this year too.
I forgot he
Can't
had a
remember
song.
the name, but
he had a song. This year,
Crazy is
yeah.
definitely another person who's kind of like,
he's
yeah,
been doing it
he's
for a
supporting the
while.
young people too.
Yeah.
But even like that element of like having like, you know, there's like certain lessons or certain like things that they know. Just
Yeah,
like
there's
like,
not a lot of knowledge to be shared that the younger ones need to
Right,
know.
like-
right.
But there's not necessarily always that platform.
Yeah.
So
in
big
terms
up
of
to
in
those.
terms of like
want
the is it like in terms of the mentorship, like people aren't assuming that role, or
mentorship. Yeah, it is
Okay.
mentorship.
Yeah.
for
Because
sure.
like you'll see like one of the craziest things is like how like Super Blue just came out of nowhere and dropped Fantastic Friday
and
just,
won
like,
Soca Monarch with it. Like
and Road March.
yeah, just came out of nowhere like super, and like he's been a legend for so long and he just knows it, man. He just knows it, but like. So it's just like, where is that? Mentorship. And have you taken it upon yourself? Because now we're talking about mentorship. How do you find yourself being a mentor?
Right.
Because you've been in.
Yeah,
How long have you been
so-
doing it? 8 years?
8 years now, man.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
I guess I can. I mean, there's still a lot more to go. I mean, DJ JEL is still kind of small, although I underestimate the impact a lot. I think, especially this past year.
I think you maybe I don't know, but like the type of listeners you're getting the type of listeners you want.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
engaged listeners
people who
in
want to
different parts of
engage
the
and wanna
world.
talk.
And it's like mind blowing. Like
Yeah.
that for other people to tell me, oh yeah, I heard DJ JEL while I was in Trinidad for Con. I was like, what? I hear him DJ JEL in West Mall, hearing DJ JEL in Queens. I'm like, what? Why?
No, it's-
And I'm like, I want to be the person to be like, damn, why can't I hear DJ JEL when I go these places? But I mean, in terms of the mentorship,
Yes.
right now it's just strictly like reach out to me. There's only one person who is really my mentee, and that's Julian Rampal.
Julian, yeah.
Who's in South
Yeah.
Ozone. Big up to him.
Yes. So your DJ mix review is coming soon, Julian.
Yeah, we gotta
Oh,
get
I'm also gonna see you. So I just found out that Julian and I have been going to the same park for like the past like 15 years. I'm gonna catch you at Conduit Park. Find me on a handball court, bro.
He's not too far from me.
Yeah, he lives like 2 blocks from me. Really cool dude.
So being now that you're like doing mentor, what are some tips or something you learned about being a mentor? Like how to be a good mentor? Like what would you if someone like oh man they're talking bad about us old heads, we're doing our part. I want to do a mentor. Like what tips would you give them? Being a good mentor.
Like for being a good mentor?
Yeah, like because some people like this.
Have patience have patience
Yeah.
and understand that the new generation always has something to bring, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as human beings, we always fear change, right? Regardless, there will always
Absolutely.
be someone smarter, better looking
Yes.
than us.
Yes.
And I think it's time that we embrace change. At the end of the day, change is the only constant thing in life. And I think you
Yes.
said that when Kes cut off his dreads 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
Change is
Yes.
always
Good marketing.
constant.
Yes. And Marshall actually talks a lot about that too in his Hot 97 interview, where he does touch upon like Soca changing and where it's gonna go and stuff like that. And pretty much Marshall was saying the same thing where he was like yes, like a lot of people I have gotten resistance obviously whenever you try something new, especially when it comes to like old Soca heads who were like, yo, the Soca today is no good back in my day, blah blah blah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the one thing that Marshall said, he's like, yo, the only thing that's really constant in life is death and change. And it's like, Soca, it's gonna change no matter what, whether you want it to or not. I think it's up to us to see whether that changes for the better or whether it's gonna be for the worse, and what are we gonna do as whether you're a DJ, a fan, an artist, what are you gonna do to kind of see where that change goes?
With that change, because you're saying like Marshall, calling Hot 97,
Yeah.
and like I know like because New York, big cultural hub,
Yeah.
and back in the day, they used to play like when dance hall was before daga daga
Every
daga,
Sunday.
daga, daga. No, but they would play dance hall like they'd be in like a lot of these spaces that are
Yeah.
more like mainstream American.
Yeah.
But I felt like as dance hall, we think dance hall is going stale. I don't know what your opinion is on it per se. But dance hall, it's still bigger internationally than Soca, but Soca's gonna come, smacking
Yeah,
away.
Spice is the harbinger right now. Dance hall,
doing,
Spice
Spice,
is
doing her indicator,
fucking-
did her indicator
whew.
tour.
But the
like,
dance hall is we know
but
it.
like I don't see like that modern support because like okay, so like one song that like we were talking about when the song "Rockin' Come In," the first time I heard it, I was like, yo, this needs to be on the radio, like Hot
Yeah.
97,
Yeah.
Power 105.1, these radio stations, just like
And
that.
instead, though, dancehall still took the place. So,
Yeah.
but
Girl, You a Party Animal by Charlie Blacks
Yeah.
and Broke Off Your Back by
Yeah.
Conscience.
Conscience.
And,
those ended up getting the rotation on Hot 97 and Power
what's that
105.
other song? That AOJ song?
Your Number.
I got they would
Afrobeat
play it all
song.
the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And I was just,
God, I fucking hate
yo.
that song. Yeah.
I was like, yo, this should have been on the on the radio. After I was at some networking event, I was talking to some lady, and she's saying, "Yeah, you know, because Soca's big on Zumba and stuff."
Yep,
She's
yep.
like, she goes to like some Soca Zumba thing.
Yeah,
I was talking about
it's in the white
Soca
people
realm.
realm. Yeah,
the white people realm,
the shadow realm.
yeah. So, the white people realm. And I was just like, yeah, there was this one Soca song I love. I was like, yo, what is it? It was like, yo, Rockin' Come Here. I was like, yo, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking. He killed the Lyman rhythm. No one touched the Lyman rhythm the way he did. And also, the Lyman rhythm, St. Lucian rhythm, and there's a lot of St. Lucian stuff coming over. That's why one thing I liked this year when they brought back the Taboo Now.
Yeah, the Taboo Now rhythm is
Corset.
hard. Yeah,
And where do you see that? Like,
Yeah, the Kuduro Soca
Yeah.
is.
yeah, because I was wondering, what do you guys think about like that Daenerys segment?
Well,
like
well,
that
look at where
wildness?
Split in the Middle is right now. It's
But
the
yeah.
number one song in the Soca realm
but,
right
like,
now.
Because like it was really hated at first because it's wild. It's really wild, you know. But people,
But again, it evolves, right?
Yeah.
And people evolve, and
Yeah.
change is welcome. So when you see Bashman Soca comes and it's that mix of like rough
Yes.
Bajan dub
Yes.
and
Yes.
dancehall into Soca,
Yes.
it's just like
yes,
if you find like again the right mixture,
yeah.
it'll work.
yeah.
Because Split in the Middle came out like 2 years ago.
So in the Middle came out in 2015.
Yeah, now
All
it's
of a
still-
sudden, it's
It's boom.
it's on the scene, and it's
Yeah.
like every time you hear Split in the Middle, the girl literally wants to
Split
do a
in the middle.
split.
All you girls are stretching right now listening to this podcast because you know you can't split. But
Just like yo,
you'll get there. You know. You'll do the Rob Van Dam. to
Sunday
that
night
song.
mantra. It's probably already going on right now, a few blocks away. Yeah, no, I think the one thing a lot of people forget too is like, yo, just the most basic thing is like, yo, Caribbean people, like, our people aren't homogenous, so like our music really shouldn't be either. You know what I mean? And I think that I'm really excited right now. Really, like a lot of people, you know, can say, you know, yeah, older heads gonna be like, oh, Soca not as good. But for me personally, I'm super excited to see where Soca is going with the collaboration with the other islands for real, and I'm really, really hyped to see.
But
where,
you know,
where
an
that's gonna
island
go.
that doesn't get much love,
Antigua.
Antigua.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Antigua
Yeah.
makes Antigua.
I was
Antigua.
about to
Yeah.
ask you. That was actually like the next question. I was like what island?
they used to get a lot of love, like again in the early 2000s, Burning Flames, you know,
Yeah.
swinging engine,
Yeah.
swinging engine
They
all
had some
night.
song I like.
Worky.
Working. Oh my god, yeah.
They had a lot, and with
baby,
Onika Bostic
you
before she
vibe.
died, she had Don't Stop It, You're Too
Yeah.
Rude, and Get On Bad with
Yeah.
Bungie
Yeah,
Garland.
yeah.
So
heard-
again, their soca is a different kind of soca. It's kind of fast, and
Yeah.
then you have like some of the younger heads like Ricardo Drew,
Yeah.
like Tion Winter, who's
Yeah.
extremely underrated,
Yeah.
coming and like trying to do more of the mainstream soca.
Yeah.
Yet this stuff still doesn't go through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What about what's the other place? Dominica. That's
Dominica.
Dominica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dominica.
with the booyah, yeah.
Yeah. What about that? Like how would you? Okay, so we say let's rank these islands. We might miss a few. So. We might miss, but like in general,
So Antigua.
no, but like so top like running things and who we say all right mainstream right now. Okay, well we know Trinidad,
Obviously Trinidad.
think, but like then they're mainstream. They're
Number
then
two?
Other people who
Number
are,
two,
I don't know.
I'll
Wait,
say-
hold on. All right,
Yeah.
so let's group it. So we'll do like
All right, how about
mainstream, right? Mainstream, and then we'll do who is there. They have everything, but they're not getting the love. Like, and who's just we're not just looking at, but they're good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because like we said, Antigua
Yeah.
got stuff, but we're not looking at.
Yeah.
Vincy is more like we know they're there, but like yo, it's good, and then
They
the
just
people
not
have their
there.
head in their ass.
Right.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
how would you rank these islands? Like thinking of them.
Well, I mean, in terms of your first point, mainstream, yeah, definitely Trinidad.
Obviously,
one,
yeah.
Yeah.
two, Barbados.
yeah, Barbados number
Three,
two.
Grenada.
Yeah.
Wow. On
Yeah.
point. So yes,
Yeah.
that's how I'd rank it
Absolutely.
because that's based on like again radio play and party play.
Absolutely.
And I guess the communities that push it too, right?
Yeah.
Like Grenada, all of a sudden, they haven't always been at the forefront.
They just
But over the
they
past couple of
really
years,
coming in.
with
Lava
Jab
Man.
Jab, with Lava
Mr.
Man,
Killer.
Tall Pre,
You can't forget
Yo,
Killer.
we love
Mr. Killer,
Killer
Mr.
for real,
greatest
though.
performance ever.
and he should have won Soca Monarch, but
Because
again,
the-
I like to
the-
see.
the Caribbean Chris Brown.
The way Mr. Killer is, Mr. Killer is like I would say like
He's not afraid of risk.
He's not at all,
Not
not at
afraid
all.
of risk
But
at
Mr.
all.
Killer has like he's actually taken it like to make it his personal responsibility to really, really try to push Grenada, which is why I really have a lot of respect for Mr. Killer. You know what I mean? And
And Tedison John.
Yeah, St. Lucia. I was going to
Teddy
say
St.
number
Lucia.
4. I was going to say number 4 is
And
St.
especially
Lucia.
the way how Tedison John does his music, he doesn't necessarily dabble in the kuduro so much, but he does, and you talked about this, the French Creole type thing. St. Lucia is very good in terms of how they fuse like their French Creole with like soca and English speaking. Like Ale is still my favorite song to date.
Yo, he
Love Ale.
showed it on the.
I showed it to my kids, my
I
Chinese
wish he
kids.
doesn't have the video anymore. Like
No, I still have
you
it.
do?
Yeah,
Keep
of
telling
course
me
I
to put that
still have
shit on
it.
Instagram, bro.
I have it on. I have it
it's
on
hilarious.
WeChat.
And I still I represent Ale whenever I go in my
Same.
hat.
I love Ale.
But like the video is so funny because he's in this small. All right, Lisha, explain your village.
So let me-
where you were, like, because a lot of people don't understand China. Explain this village.
Okay,
and
so
where you're
if
showing
you
soca,
can
bro.
just simply imagine a place, not a place where that's blocked off from just soca, right? Because that's already like one type of thing in America and stuff like that, right? And then imagine like you have a town that's blocked off from literally everything. Like these people have never seen someone who doesn't look like them. They've never ever heard someone ever speak English. There's maybe only like 3 people or 4 people max in the entire town that can speak English, you know what I mean? And you go there and anything that you tell them they'll believe because they just don't know. So I go as an English teacher. This tiny little town. It's called Lishen, right? And you know I'm an English teacher for these high school students. They're like 14, 15. Amazing kids. They want to know about the world. But the only lens that they get is from like American pop culture. So that they think everyone in America,
whatever gets her to
whatever gets through is always
The internet
is
is
always
blocked, by the way,
is
so you gotta
always
take that into
it's always
account.
Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift. So they think that
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
has
pretty
blonde
much.
hair and blue eyes, right? So imagine I show up. I'm like, "What up, yo? I'm your new teacher, right?" And then I start pulling out things like, "Yo, I'm Caribbean." You know, in China they say jalabiran. I'm like, "Yo, what's your jalabiran?" You know, I'm a Caribbean
go,
person.
"Arr,
And they go, "Ah, pirates," because the only thing they know is Pirates of the
Pirates of the
Caribbean.
Caribbean,
That's
which
the
is
only
based
thing
in
that's
St.
carried
Vincent.
over. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then now, so what I do is every class, before class starts, I show them a music video. So, you know, the ones that I had in my arsenal were ones that were given to me by a friend. And they were like, you know, like Taylor Swift and you know, they had some Kanye videos in there and like some American artists. And then one day I was just like, you know, yeah, nah, fuck this, yo. Like, I started downloading some Teddy. But then you have to be really select what music videos you can show to high school kids, right? When it comes to Carnival, right?
They're more conservative.
They're super conservative.
So they
you know what I
can't
mean?
take all the wine.
Like even like a little bit of whining and twerking, and even
They're
a
gonna
little,
start being a Japanese
their heads
schoolgirl,
will literally explode. Yeah, their heads will explode.
Like, they can't take that.
But I gave one lesson about world culture, and in that one lesson, yo, I have a video of it. I want to post it right on Instagram. I pulled up photos of Carnival and people in the feathers. And the kids, their faces, they were like, first they were all giggling because, you know, they see the girls in like the feathers and the minimal outfits and stuff. But then when I tell them, I'm like, yeah, they party 5 days, 7 days sometimes, no sleep. They're just like, what? Right? And then I actually have the video of this that I sent to Braun, and I was like, yo, all right, repeat after me. Trinidad. And they imagine a classroom of 80 kids.
Yo, all wearing like
80
these Chinese
kids,
jumpsuits.
all wearing the same outfit, the same hairstyle. All of them just going, Trinidad. And I'm like, Trinidad. And they're like, Trinidad. And I'm like, as loud as you can. Trinidad. And then the same kids, I went and I showed them Ale, right? And I was like, guys, I'm gonna show you guys a great song. And I'll put it on, and they were just so stone-faced with it. But you could just tell that they were just looking at it like out of curiosity because it's something they've never seen before. They've never seen happy music. They've never seen black artists being showed in like a glamorous way. They've never seen islands and Caribbean and this kind of stuff, you know? And I was just like, yo, this is like... Soca does have the power to arouse curiosity, even in the most obscure parts of the world.
Definitely.
Like living in Lishan proved that to me. You know what I mean? And even my students, I would be like, at the end of the day, I asked them what their favorite place was. I was like, out of the 10 countries I showed you, what was your favorite place? And I kid you not, like 3 or 4 girl students actually said to me, they were like, teacher, if I could visit a place, I would go to
nigga.
Oh, by the way, nigga means in China.
yeah, so
it's not a racial slur.
yeah.
In case you guys didn't know that.
Nigga.
So they would be like, teacher, I want to go to nigga Trinidad, and I'm like, what? Why do you want to go to Trinidad, Kobe? Because they all name themselves after
Kobe
like,
or LeBron.
like NBA superstars. So like, go, this little Chinese kids like, why do you want to go to Trinidad, Kobe? Because it seems that you like it very much.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Spread the culture, man.
Oh,
Culture
Yeah,
shit.
definitely. To your point about that though, soca music is happy music. Anyone that's never listened to soca music in their life, that's how they describe it when I introduce it to them.
And when they hear it, like I was like, "What do you think?" Because I told my coworker, like, yeah, we're doing the Soca Analyst. This is one of the mixed reviews we did, and like she was actually like looking it up. Like, I'm surprised she was able to find it because stuff is blocked there.
Yeah.
And she was listening to it. I was like, oh, what do you think about it was like DJ Lanterns, man?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I like it. It's like really like happy. Like that's the first thing they always say. It's really
always.
happy.
Even when I show soca to people who never heard it before, they're always like, this is just such positive vibes. You know what I mean? And again, but it goes back to also the type of tunes that you show them. Because for me, like Kendrick was saying, like, yo, Marvey would be one of the major artists that you would introduce to someone. Yeah, and you could go in on that. Give us your take on that.
Tell us what artists you think like show people.
Well, here's the thing on Spotify, and I should really have a radio playlist for this, but on Spotify I have a first time soca lovers playlist.
Okay,
so anyone who listens to soca for the first time, I don't want them to listen to like the wine and grind or like the crazy stuff that comes up. So I do like, no TikTok.
Honestly, that song is that broke.
Oh God, I love that
the
song.
Western side, but yeah.
True, but I mean it's more of a dancehall kind of style too. It did break the world a little bit. It went viral, but definitely Marvey is the top of the list because Know the Face, Survive the Weekend, and his newest track Stars Align.
Stars Align is
I
incredible.
Think that, it's an incredible production. I think he understands like music in a whole sense that it doesn't necessarily have to be wine and grind, and I think he's the perfect example for lyrical content.
Yes.
Second, Teddyson John.
Teddy. Yep.
Ali is definitely on that list.
Yep.
I really like Melody. Melody would drop.
Melody is
nice.
incredible. Yes.
And the others would be classical soca songs that like we talked about earlier, like Turn Me On, Tempted to Touch, Differentology, like stuff that went mainstream that I think people will know. They're like, oh, I never knew that this was soca. I just thought this was like, dancehall or
some Jamaican or some type of reggae or something.
So then they get that. When did they really get into more and more soca? Like, what's the second tier? What's the second level? Is it like Kets?
Marshall. Wine, everybody take a jump,
take a jump.
So they'll get like
that's a good second level of like you're interested in soca, you want to know the real kind of then you start with the foundations really because if you think of It's Carnival was a groundbreaking foundational you can type of tune. You
can still play, just don't play it 20 times.
Absolutely.
And then I'll even put in some chutney there too.
Yes.
Chutney. Wait, chutney on level 2?
Yeah.
I thought level 2.
Well, here's the thing. If you put in some like real unity and you put in some chutney soca that's not necessarily like Noah was a drink or something. Like everyone could like
relate to that.
You would want relatable stuff that people would understand.
Yes.
So
okay, then level
that's
3.
interesting.
I'm just assuming level
because I'm like you're gonna go more.
The last level I'm thinking is like the Neri segment, like that aggressive.
Level 3 for me would be like Lava Man, or like.
Actually, funny enough, although we kid about this, it's Palance.
Really?
Oh, because you have to know which way to go or something.
Yeah.
Palance is dangerous, man.
Because you really need to understand what the song is saying.
Although there's a petition going around by Follow Soca to kill Palance, I'm still the one in the party who will be like, oh, it's Palance time. Let's go. Front and center. This is me left.
Yeah,
right.
no,
here's the thing. I love
Palance.
Personally, I don't think Palance should disappear at all completely.
No worries.
I think that it shouldn't be oversaturated.
Yeah,
but Palance,
there should be no reason why
if you think about Palance really is like the only participation soca song that we have, where it's like
For
that's
modern-
that's like the Filipino line dances for modern soca.
Modern time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but
it's
I
like,
mean,
you know what I mean?
there are other songs that have dances
No,
too,
no,
like
no.
Ale, like Pipe right now, selling Pipe.
Pipe.
But like-
But that pipe, even that, like I haven't seen that big here. Like Soca Train is like everybody, that's automatic. Get in a line, fucking grab the person's shoulders in front of you and form a line, and they go around. And it's like we started in Antigua, and like the islands are represented and stuff like that. But I haven't heard like a really like a community soca song where like. And there's something about Palance when you hear that where everybody just all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, get in position, guys, and like everyone just spreads out, and I'm like,
It's like the Cupid Shuffle, but like
yeah, but for soca, and
Cupid
I'm like,
Shuffle.
but
you don't want to do the Cupid Shuffle 30
70
times.
yeah, and that I understand. Like it shouldn't be an oversaturated, song,
Expose these DJs. Who's playing it 30 times?
Would you say it's something where it's like the DJs who are trying to just kind of like get that cheap exposure, go forward, and that kind of stuff?
Oh, definitely. It's people who want that type of attention to be like, oh, I'm a DJ, and yes, I can play for people because I know Palance, it's Carnival,
gonna
Jump,
yeah.
all those songs.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna just like quick question. What was the worst experience you had DJing?
Yeah.
The worst set you ever had?
Yeah.
Like what
the
was like?
worst that I ever had. I mean, I would say it would exist more in corporate than in soca fets, right? So I'll say corporate. I mean, like private events, so like weddings, barbecues.
Okay.
Weddings, barbecues, sweet 16s. I would say the worst experience I have is sweet 16s because, these are like nice 16-year-old people that want to hear a song and they want to hear it now.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is they
Yeah.
only want to hear it for 15 seconds.
Yes.
So as soon as you put on like the little A-boogie or whatever other things that young people listen to, they only want to hear it for like a certain amount of time. And someone who's a lover of music who likes to like mix and focuses on blends, that was.
And then they hand you their aux cord and their iPod.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a whole article that I wrote on 10 things that you should never tell a Caribbean DJ. And
Like what?
the biggest one, I think number one was I can't pay you.
Oh Jesus Christ! Like.
Yeah, I wrote that with
That's something you shouldn't tell anyone in general.
There
Like.
seems a lot of that going on.
Oh,
the
man.
other thing is
industry.
my cousin is a DJ. Can I learn how to DJ now?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, there's a lot of people who will walk up to a DJ in a party and say the most ridiculous things. Oh, I'm leaving now. You need to play my song, like, right now.
Oh shit.
Oh, today's my birthday. Mind you, you're not the one paying me. But today is my birthday. Play my song. And I mean,
It's not Applebee's. Get the fuck out.
yeah, we put up with a lot. A lot of the DJs for these private functions, DJing is not an easy job. So, again, don't undervalue yourself, and promoters.
What was the
pay
best set you
your
ever
DJs.
had?
Wow. That would be a backyard party. Like,
Yeah, of course. Backyard
Like,
fets really are
especially
the best
growing
fets,
up,
man.
especially when the rhythm section is playing very nicely. Everybody head is nice.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
nice
yeah,
family
yeah,
party
yeah.
And everyone's dancing. And
They all
then,
get the macaroni pie and thing, and
then
the food.
especially, this happened last year during Labor Day weekend, leading up to New York City's West Indian Day Parade, because it's not a carnival, sadly. I was introducing Peter Ram's Good Morning, because, a lot of the DJs were not crop over Good
Yeah,
Morning.
yeah, yeah.
Trinidad didn't even exist that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was introducing this as the newest song. I say, everybody, this is a song you must get familiar with, because nobody knew it at the time.
Do people
And
break songs anymore?
So I played that, I
I
think,
wanna hear that.
3 or 4 times within like 2 hours. And at the end of the party, everybody knew that song.
Yeah,
and that made
yeah,
me feel
yeah.
really happy
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I helped bust a song that nobody really
Do
heard
people
before.
like that's the thing? We're saying like Risk and all that. Who's breaking songs? Because that's the same thing in like hip hop where people are like, yo, nobody's breaking songs anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just comes through the internet. Who's like breaking songs?
But I mean, because even the roots of a lot of that goes all the way back to like even in like dance hall, right? When you used to have the sound clash battles, like one of the things that would give someone the edge over the other one is like, yo, they're gonna bust the newest tune in a crazy way.
They'll have like the new dub.
Exactly,
It'll be,
they'll have the
new
newest
tune,
dub
but
plate.
then there's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
new
yeah.
dub plate. It's also
Absolutely. We saw a meme, and it was a picture of Mashal, picture of Bungie, picture of Kess, and picture of Kerwin, and it said one of them has to go. Who's it gonna be? And I was just like,
Yo, everyone is so special,
Yeah, and the thing is that Cass would be nothing without Kerwin.
Yeah,
Without
but
Kerwin,
it's
there's
the
no
same.
What Class.
Yeah, I know. But even Kerwin back in the day, like high off the music because I was high. Like what?
Yeah.
What's the other one? The Rose and the Stem. That joint.
I am the
Yes.
rose.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are the
yeah.
stem,
Oh
with
my
Saucy.
Ugh.
Then there's Madman by Marshall, which was
Yeah.
produced by Kerwin. So like, how
Kerwin does a lot of
Kerwin does a
behind the
lot.
scene things
Bubble
that
Nuts.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like you could even argue like, yo, without Kerwin, for Kerwin writing What List, like that might
And
not
for
have
Kerwin
been the
writing
tune.
half of Marshall's like hit
Yeah,
songs,
exactly.
there would be no soca.
Yeah, it's an arguable thing. Like dancehall probably could have still been maybe running shit if that What List didn't drop, and that wouldn't happen without Kerwin.
And you guys would have been getting daggered by Marvin the Beast. Think of all the whiplash. Think of all the whiplash you could face. The concussions.
DHQ Nikki. That's all Queen Nikki.
Do you want him to put a bucket on your head?
Oh my god. But even for real, but it's like, and you know, for me personally, you know, like because Kes is like my inspiration for just so many things.
All he does is say blessings.
Kes
20
is
times,
my
man.
inspiration for even wanting to do the Soca analyst in the first place and stuff. And then like in my eyes, it's like Kes can never do no wrong. And I'm just like
Like yo, I was asking like, yo, what are artists like? You can't be like, yo, I hate this person. Like,
Yeah.
I can't hear someone like, yo, I hate Kes. Can't stand
Nah.
Kes.
I've never heard anyone say anything
You
bad.
can't though,
Period.
because Cass
about
is like
Kes.
one of the most humble,
Yeah.
nicest
You're
people
just like,
ever.
blessings,
You could approach
blessings.
him.
Just every Tuesday, he's doing a live jam session every Tuesday for the endless summer.
I think he has
What?
the best. He has the best Instagram. He has the best Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Marshall runs YouTube, but like for
No.
IG, he has the best.
Kes is
Instagram.
the IG, you know. I love seeing just the photos of him posting up his new hairstyle, you know.
And they're milking it too. They're milking it
He's
the
doing
right
good.
way.
But then we still have Bungie too, because it's like Soca could possibly also not be Soca without Bungie Garland. you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no differentology.
Chutney. You know, Rum is my lover and all
those mixes
Bungie and
and
Hitman tunes.
Bungie and Hunter.
Bungie and Hunter, you couldn't even have had that.
He's very versatile.
And then
Bungie and Trevini. Like,
Yeah, and then you can't eliminate Marshall. Like
Marshall is the king of the king of soca right
That's
there.
right. Coughing that loogie like a Chinese
there's-
taxi driver.
There's nobody who can really go. Each artist plays an integral role in the soca industry. I can't do it. I can't eliminate them. Shit, man.
And what would be one thing to eliminate that? What's the easy one?
Okay, see, so if you're going
Let's do new guys, new people.
okay.
New people. Let's do
Wait,
voice.
are you saying? Oh, okay. So you want to have the conversation of new artists?
Yeah, new
Okay,
guy.
so for me, my top favorite new artists that I would put in the meme are Voice, Second Stop, Pretty, and shit. There was one more I don't remember. Oh, I can't leave out Nyla too if we want to throw female artists, but we could also do female artists as their own exclusive thing. But for me personally, it's like Nyla, Voice, Pretty, Second Star,
Irfan House.
fuck Irfan! We
Irfan.
can't leave Irfan. Oh my god, Irfan is so important too. Shit, arguably maybe the most important right now too. Damn, that's hard.
But does it have to be Trinidad though?
It doesn't have to be
Any-
Trinidad.
any-
Even Teddy, I'll put Teddy in there too. Obviously, we're gonna go us.
But Teddy's not necessarily a
He's
new
not-
artist.
he's not
He
new,
just
I know.
bossed recently,
I know,
but he's
I know.
been since 2008.
Let's go in terms of just like the what's being played right now.
All right,
right?
what about you?
And the
Jel,
popularity.
new artists.
Marve.
Fuck Marvin, you see, it's endless.
Definitely pretty because without pretty,
Pretty.
there's no kings and queens.
Yeah,
he wrote
Pretty,
kings and
yeah.
queens.
I didn't know that.
Pretty is a legendary songwriter. He's probably one of the best in Trinidad.
Wow,
Oh, hold on.
got it. You got it.
Yeah, so definitely. So Marve, Pretty, Mason.
Mason. Oh, I'm really big on
Saint
Mason.
Vincent has some talented people. Mason is definitely one of them. You gotta check him out. His play on words in certain songs are just
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And underrated, Tion Winter.
You know,
From
I
Antigua.
don't really listen.
Ah, well, after
I
this
have a
podcast
question.
is done, I'll
Is
play.
Nikita, is she new?
Nikita is also new as well.
Because I like
She's from
Nikita.
Barbados.
Her
Nikita,
vocals are mean.
She can sing.
Yeah. Or favorite females. Favorite females.
Okay, Jel, you go first.
Patrice Roberts.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Patrice.
God, okay, so favorite, do you want to go new female
yeah,
or?
throw a couple. I don't know.
Okay, so I mean, for me, my number one first female artist when I first started listening to soca was Destra. But if we want to talk about like recently, I would say my number one favorite right now has to be Nyla.
Baila,
Mommy, oh my God, yo! I sent that to people. I have a group of dance. There's a dance team in China who lived in Lishan with me. They're amazing Ukrainian dancers. Shout out to Dasha, Dima, Ida, and Lucy.
Yeah, because we have like all these international players.
But I sent them the video of Baila Mami right there because there was no other way they were gonna hear this tune. I sent it to them and they're actually working on a choreography that they're gonna do in fucking this tiny town in China, and I just like,
Soca advocates,
you know.
That's right. We don't need your.
For me, my number
wall.
one right now has to be Nyla. I absolutely love Nyla, the potential she has, what she's done,
and she's also the granddaughter of Soca. So
yes.
That's her granddaughter.
And her Soca family, Uncle Isaac Blackman. You know what I mean? A part of the whole Blackman family. It's fucking incredible. My number 2, I would go for Patsy. I absolutely love Patrice. I've loved. So long I've loved Patrice Roberts, you know, so I gotta give that to Patsy right there. And my number 3 is kind of hard to say for female soca artists, but it's probably it might be Fayan for right now in terms of recent music. Although I'm not big on high heels, but I will give you the big enough for girls.
I thought she killed that rhythm. What do you mean?
Well, we gotta talk to Bungie about that first. Kendricks, you go ahead.
All right. Patsy. Patsy, I can't.
Yeah, so Patrice gets the most votes in this
especially once she went independent, like
yes,
she became a whole different force. I felt like Big Girl Now definitely.
Old and Grey.
Old and Grey. Even Money Done though was like
Money
a
Done.
mean
I'm
tune.
fetting out my money till all my money done.
And the fan music video of her going to all the islands.
Like what? Patsy.
Yeah, Patsy.
Number 2, Nyla. Like because did she study classical Indian singing?
Nyla studied Indian classical music, and before she was like famous, she was actually doing acoustics, and she was doing more performances than soca recordings. But she was on Denise. She was on Denise Million's like A Million Concepts, where she did the voiceover of Cheers to Life, which is just wow.
And like me personally, I fucking hate acoustic guitars. I think they're wild swaggerless, so I don't listen to them. But like
Nyla is big on
unless you like really do a good job.
But you could see how important acoustic is to Nyla because. Like a lot of the photos that she takes are like her and her guitar, but also B, during her Soca Monarch performance, she actually took the time out to do like an acoustic performance. Now you could rate that however you will, whether but the fact that she took the time out to do it shows how important it is to her.
People are like, oh, you sound like a dead cat and shit. Like she gets a lot of.
Yeah, people say that.
It's particularly with her Soca Monarch performance. So while I was on Twitter watching Soca Monarch, when she came on to perform Workout with Kes, she had lost her grandmother that morning.
Oh my God!
So she was mourning the loss, and then on top of that, the night she had to perform and.
That's just not a good. Poor girl. She's so awesome too. Like whenever the Soca analyst comments, she responds.
It's like so unique. Like,
and she's humble. Like Kes.
I like to hear different sounds.
Yeah, me too.
So Patsy, Nyla, and my third would be Valley Ned.
Nice.
Who does that? She had that song "Great Things" on the Melanin rhythm. She was on the Sweet Wink rhythm, which I really liked this year because Sweet Wink rhythm just had that. I just had that old school barbecue. Like I could see that backyard thing. Yeah, Lava Man fucking killed that rhythm.
Lava Man killed every rhythm, bro.
No Personnel was so good. Like if you haven't heard it, guys, check it out. Like especially if you want like a real like older sounding thing. And when she links up, what's the name of that producer from Dominica? Dada. Yeah. When they link up together, they always kill. So like I really like her.
What'd you say the name of this artist was?
Valley Ned. Like she had that Great Things. I forgot the other song she had with her, but like I really like her. She's really uplifting, and if she can sing, she can sing her ass off.
I really want to hear more from Nikita. Like she's one artist that I'm really
I'm
Nikita
has
searching for.
She has a repertoire. She did I Forget with Marshall for the movie Basel D.
Yeah.
We had Basel D story. So we told you about our friend, our trained friend Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon. What's his? Do you know the name of his sports podcast?
Too Sweet Sports.
So, shout out to Too Sweet Sports on their sports podcast.
So we have his friend Brandon. So as a joke, like We call him Brown Don, but like his name is Brandon.
His name is Brandon. But the reason I started calling him Brandon was actually because when I started getting into like soca shit, I would just go and be like, yo, Brandon, yo, whenever you get in trouble now, because that's all I was like, yo, whenever you get in trouble, your mom probably comes in and is like, Brandon, the fuck you do that for? Get up, take out the change. No, for real.
Yeah, so like, who are you about to
So we all have our own nicknames in my friend group in high school. So like Brandon is Brandon.
They call him like Raj.
Kendrick's was like we used to call him Chuckles sometimes because he has an iconic laugh, right? And then they used to call me Raj Kapoor after the Trini Lego love story, where it was like now to introduce a Trinidad love story. Raj Kapoor. Oh gosh, Raj Kapoor. It's like, oh gosh, come outside, nigga. You know, so they started calling me Raj Kapoor because of that, right? So when WOIIIIII dropped, you know, you have the synopsis on IMDb.
Yeah.
So Brandon made an IMDb account and a Wikipedia account way back in high school.
Yeah, so he had it
when
for
it
a
first
long
started.
time.
So he has editing privileges on it. He can edit it and put it whatever he wants. And it doesn't have to be double checked. So he changed it from whatever. I don't know what the original. It might have been like Anjali Panchuri or something. But he changed it from that to Raj Kapoor Panchuri.
He changed everything.
And because everyone copies the synopsis from IMDb because it's a credible website,
Right.
every other third-party site started with WOIIIII. This movie is about Raj Kapoor Panchuri and the Dotish young daughter. And it was like that for so long.
No, but like IMDb, I guess the PR team found out, they fixed it.
Yeah.
All the other websites
Didn't change it. They still say Raj Kapoor Panchuri to this day.
So yeah, we do.
Yeah, so
But yeah, Nikita and Nikita.
Yeah, so Nikita, did I forget for WOIIIII movie? She did Tequila with King Bubba. Tequila.
That's very impressive.
And
And
then,
not talking about rum, King Bubba.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did Tequila this time.
For sure.
And then Bun It Up by with her and Red Boys. So Nikita has a very, I would say, impressive sophomoric / junior-ish type repertoire.
Yes, yeah, I definitely get
So
that.
she
vibe.
has songs.
So like I said, like not talking about rum, King Bubba. We always get into that conversation, like, oh, if King Bubba does an album, what is it gonna be about? Like, it's just all gonna be rum. Do you think that's a problem? Like, what do you think?
Well, let's see. It did talk about earlier about chutney being about rum,
Yes.
right? I'm wondering if King Bubba will do a chutney soca with rum as well.
You know what? I would be so because he would be the right person.
He
would be the right
probably
person
be the
to
right
do that.
person to do a chutney.
No, he
King
would.
Bubba saved chutney soca.
Oh my god!
Only you.
King Bubba, we're getting on our knees and pleading.
Yeah, the
you
chutney
need to do
avatar.
a chutney collab right now.
Imagine a Syrian Bajan coming to sing chutney soca.
No, but for real, it could work.
No, it could work.
work.
I could see a Robbie B and King Bubba going on.
Well, they did have a collab before. Who Drinking Rum? They did a remix
Yeah.
It was a trendy remix.
with Ravi and King Bubba.
I love that song.
See the rum
See,
bringing
for
people
me,
together,
like,
the genre.
King Bubba, like, I know people are like, oh, all he does do is rum. Like,
But he does it right,
I don't mind that. Like, if
he
you're just
does
gonna
it
do rum,
and you're good at it.
you just have to kill it. Like,
Yeah.
I see it like
Yeah.
if you're like a weed rapper and all you do is rap about weed all day. But
Yeah.
like,
No, but
all
King
he does is rap
King
about rum.
Bubba
You
makes
gotta kill it.
look, even though people
But
say
even
that
some
about
of King
Bubba,
Bubba's like
yeah.
nicest music, I like Whole Night.
Oh,
When I get to the
nights
back-
I do
Whole
it,
Nights I do
whole
it.
night. Everybody knows that tune. Even if they don't know King Bubba, they know Whole Nights for sure.
And
Like,
I like calling in Collins.
And
Calling
then
in
Mashup.
Sick.
I like Calling in Sick too.
Yeah.
And then Mashup, when I touch down, play Safi Mashup.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my favorite tunes from King Bubba is not necessarily
The
a
rum
rum
tunes,
song.
yes. But
so I think he has the potential to live
here's the thing.
outside of rum.
He's proved that
But
he
yo,
can do
every
the
time
rum
you
tunes,
say-
and he's proved that he could do
goes, "Rum King."
and he's proved he could do other ones. You know what I mean? Which is amazing because it's like he can kill it and be like. Because right now, when I think of rum tunes, it really is King Bubba who's dominating soca rum tunes. But he's
Is he?
proved.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I think when it comes
not
to
Ricardo
him,
Drew.
Nah, not
yeah.
Ricardo Drew. Stamp Your Name and Vagabond, no.
yeah,
I like Professional.
professional is good.
Professional's good.
But listen,
Not really
Vagabond though was
No,
it's,
Vagabond
it's just
Vagabond, well,
Jesus
Vagabond went kind of
Christ.
into DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
he got his inspiration from Ricardo Drew's
Yeah.
Vagabond.
Yeah, see, Vagabond is a
What did DJ
benchmark
Khaled
tune.
take from Vagabond?
He put it in his music video. I can't remember which
He
one.
did?
Yeah, you didn't see? There was a
No.
little insert with Vagabond in it.
Wait, get out!
He put Ricardo Drew in it.
He didn't put Drew in it. He put the song in it with the Masquerade.
Oh, I got that's
Wait,
okay.
he sampled it or he put it in a music
He
video?
put it in the music video.
we gotta
Yo,
watch that.
whoa,
That's actually
I
pretty
gotta
cool.
find that.
But then that explains it, like him being with Sizzla and him having Assad taking a photo with Sizzla and shit. He's it seems like he's getting into.
Yeah, but
maybe DJ Khaled does have his eyes on Soca and shit right now.
but he's in Miami.
Well,
He's based in Miami,
they do.
so he knows.
DJ Khaled and Drake kind of did
Oh,
a
yeah,
track that sounds like Power Soca.
yeah.
Oh
If
wait,
you
was it
listen
that,
to it-
which one? The most recent thing they did?
Yes.
I forgot what it was called. I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll take a listen to it after this.
Yeah,
podcast.
but, so what do you think about the whole Drake thing? Like, cause people are like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you were like, oh, he's a culture appropriator. He's coming to appropriate and
Well,
misrepresentation.
there's two arguments. There's the first one that he's stealing our music, and then there's the
Uh-huh.
second one that he's paying homage.
So
to
you
the
know,
Okay.
Caribbean.
when he says
Yeah.
more tune for your head top, he's not making.
Well,
money.
I don't know. Here's the thing. He also stole what? What does Popcorn say a lot? Way up?
Everybody play your wait, we talking
I
think,
think yeah, he does. Yeah,
He say
something,
way up
yeah,
or something like that.
about?
Yeah,
Wait, who did this?
Drake.
Drake.
Oh, Drake. Okay. Got
He
you.
big up Popcorn.
Not so much. I don't listen to Drake. Yeah. Damn.
Man, how you not? Well,
Uh,
he's so big, man.
yeah.
The thing, and here's the thing, Drake still kind of trends in the Caribbean too. Like
Yeah.
when you hear music on the radio, a lot
Yeah.
of it is still Drake.
No, even
and it's
even in the clubs
music
too.
sampled from dancehall. Like Drake is big in Jamaica, and it's just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, but even in the clubs around here, like they'll play Drake. You know what I mean? As,
No,
like,
Drake runs.
Yeah,
Shit. But,
absolutely.
Like, what do you think about them using the sound though? Because like people are like, you're taking from us, and you're not, bigging up. Because like we had that whole like African,
Yeah, the Afrobeats
Afrobeat.
appropriation.
Whereas like because you do other music too, so that French Montana song, Unforgettable, straight Afro beats.
You are unforgettable.
Man, it's a really good song, but like.
That's Afrobeats, right?
Yeah, but like he does kind of big up, but we want to see more. So because like after Afrobeats has its turn, soca eventually is gonna have its
Yeah,
day.
and you
how-
see
when that
what I'm
day
shocked
come-
that is Pitbull, right?
Pitbull's a legend, bro.
Pitbull also did a lot of collaborations with Marshall, and he used to big up a lot
Yes.
of Trini people,
Yes.
big up all my West End
Yes.
people.
Yes. Yes.
What's going on with him?
I don't know.
Why isn't he at the forefront of this?
Yo,
Because
well-
he's Cuban, so that kind of makes him
Yeah,
Caribbean.
he is Caribbean. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. My issue with Pitbull, I have a big issue with Pitbull. Like,
What's up?
is because like, going international, like, he really is Mr. Worldwide. You can't get the fuck away from his music, son. It's not like if you think like the same 20 songs, it's like Pitbull. Like he has so many hits,
And
and it's just
yeah.
like, you go in these clubs, they just play Pitbull, and you go to a different country. Oh, I'm in Thailand now. I should be safe. No, Pitbull, Dale, Mr. Worldwide. It's so annoying. I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
He really hates Pitbull, yeah.
No, if you like,
So
But
you know,
I
like
understand
the Soca
why.
tracks he did with Marshall, like
No,
Flow
but
Under
those were good,
Fire,
yeah.
But it's
Defense.
Yeah,
it's different.
defense.
It's different when you see it with Soca because Soca still has Soca in it.
Yeah,
but
but
the thing
Pitbull
with
is like it's still a Pitbull
the thing with
joint.
Pitbull is that Pitbull his style really doesn't change.
No, but
It's-
it's like it's still like it's his own thing. Like him,
Yeah.
Flow Rider.
Yeah, Flo Rida for
those,
sure.
Those
Flo Rida,
few
yeah.
Rihanna songs. You know that song?
S&M?
Oh, is that?
Is it S&M? Because
Oh,
I
no,
like
no,
that.
no, no. Yeah, that's S&M.
Sex
Yo,
in the air.
everywhere.
Yeah, that gets annoying. Yeah.
Everywhere,
especially
around
when you
the
travel to another
world.
country.
No, this
yeah.
is
Well,
my
that's
things
the
are
thing
coming
with
from around the
mainstream
world.
music, though.
Yeah.
Mainstream music does travel around the world. Like there's
Yeah.
like with Umi's Cheerleader, it didn't bust in the U.S. or in Jamaica.
Cheerleader is
Cheerleader bust in
interesting.
Germany.
Yeah.
A German DJ remixed the song, and all of a sudden, Cheerleader by Umi, this Jamaican artist, right?
Yeah.
Who didn't make it in Jamaica, all of a sudden it gets big in Germany, and then it travels.
And then Machel also did it. No, I'm thinking of Cheerleader. My bad.
That's why DJs are important, man.
Yeah.
Who's
That's
gonna
why
break a
DJs are
song?
important.
Yeah.
That dude
Absolutely.
took a risk.
a song that was incredibly old that came back on the
Yeah,
scene. For no
absolutely,
reason.
absolutely. Yeah,
Gotta break it, man.
yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah, so DJs are incredibly important.
DJ, please.
So again, DJs do your research, do your homework, find the music, introduce it to the people. Stop playing the same 15 soca songs.
That's right.
Playing 15
Buckshot.
songs over and over and over again.
Make sure you have the most important thing, which is a benchmark when you do your DJ mixes. Okay?
You don't know virtual DJ.
You don't know crossfade.
You don't know Serato. Make sure you know your thing. I mean, in all due respect, though, we all do this for the love of culture, right?
Yes.
Music is a mission and not a competition.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I always try to make it about that. Like, regardless if you're a bigger DJ, if you're a smaller DJ, we all have one job, and that is to push the music and push the culture.
Absolutely.
So,
Like tax don't stay, push your culture.
Absolutely.
that is the one thing I think for DJ JEL that's very special, that I will always continuously push the culture no matter
And
what.
that's one thing that's very special for us.
For the Soca analysts, really is that the culture is everything.
And we need platforms, man. You
Yeah.
know, guys, make some platforms so
Yes.
we can have these conversations.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So we need our space. Everyone
And
needs
push
their
the
space.
younger people. please.
Yes.
Do
They're
some
the future,
chutney.
you know.
Make them do some chutney.
Yes. Put them in the
Make
Soca
it like
space.
homework.
Bring the mentorship in, you know.
You don't do your chutney yet, boy?
Smack! Get the
out
chutney
the bus
ruler
tag.
stick.
Yeah.
Get the Soca ruler
Teach
stick.
them how to play tassa too.
And tabla and do
And
all kind of
pan.
thing. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. And bottle and rum bottle. Spoon and rum bottle.
Starting with the baby bottle.
Yeah. You're never too young to soca, like Marshall says.
Hey.
But anyway,
Wrap that thing up.
yeah, I want to say, you know, like,
say
I want to say,
Like,
yeah, wrap the thing up, boy. Yeah, wrap the thing up, boy. But yeah, seriously, JEL, I want to say seriously, like, thank you, you know, for deciding to come on, you know, the session
taking
with
time
us.
from your day.
Yeah, taking time from, you know, time you could be, you know, spending DJing or having a job and
JEL
stuff.
was one of the people who saw us like early.
Yeah, early.
yeah.
Before, let's get into that. Like,
Yeah.
why did you like? What made you even click on it? Because it was just like so
I
random.
think it was the early videos, you know, you guys were critiquing 2017 soca, and I was like, well, wait, no one ever does this before.
Yeah.
So I see the reaction video of like the Calypso Rose, and I'm like, damn, they noticed a lot of the things that I've noticed too, like Ali's Roti Shop. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I see you guys create a platform that I think doesn't exist, and it needs to be grown.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like a soca media company or like a soca critique per
Yeah.
se. I mean, there's Warren Civic, the
Yes,
soca critic,
yes,
but
yes.
Yeah.
he himself needs to build it too. So once there's that platform,
Yes.
we can take over the world.
Yeah. Take over the soca world.
And you want to get in before.
You
all
don't
right?
know.
You want to invest in Google and Apple very early, guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Like Mr. Killer said, we don't come to shell down the place.
Do it.
So yes, definitely. Yes, everyone. Thank you for listening to this session. Big up to DJ JEL once again.
It's
Yeah,
it's
thanks for having me.
Yes. All right. So as we
Did
always
people used to annoy
say,
you with that?
Yeah, yeah,
It's Jelani.
No, actually, nah, what?
Wow, when that Serrani song came out, I would assume someone would have done that.
Nah, no one actually did do that. There's some other embarrassing name we'll talk about off.
oh
air, but-
shit. All right. Off
Whatever's in
record. But yes, everyone. Yeah. So tune in next week. We're gonna have another session. We might come back with the. We should do that financial literacy episode next. I don't really know.
I just need to get some finance.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you guys know what we're gonna talk about next.
Very Caribbean with the
Yes.
Like,
But you know, thank you guys.
it's just like Trinidad. When are they gonna fix the road? Never.
Exactly. We love y'all. Big up and bless.
Fix the road already. Come on, son.